Welcome to Semper Hooah podcast.
No, Amazon, motherfucker.
Welcome to Semper Hooah podcast. That was episode 4 now, right?
It is episode 4.
I can't count that high.
All right, I'm OG, and this degenerate devil dog next to me is Sam, as always, and we have Pete and Scott in the combat closet, and our guest today is Chief P. He is a Intel Chief Warrant Officer in the Army Reserve, military intelligence, also a police officer for a very large police department. I'm not going to name names, but
let's not.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we have to change them to protect the innocent.
All right.
Uganda Police Department.
Chief over here is, well, why don't you tell everybody about yourself a little bit.
So you pretty much covered everything and stole my thunder, so I don't really know what I'm going to touch on.
How long have you been in the service?
I've been in the Army for 13 years now, police officer for 6 of those years in a large police department in the Chicagoland area.
What did you do before you were a police officer?
I was in the military in the Army, and then I went to school for a little bit, and I'm not smart enough for school, so I did what everyone who's not smart enough for school does, become a police officer.
Ah, fair enough.
Just say you weren't good at testing. I'm sure you're a smart guy. You're a bad tester. That's the way you get out of that.
That's actually the complete opposite. I'm good at taking tests. I'm just too lazy to do any of the schoolwork. So
you're on the active side and then the reserve side now.
Yep.
That's actually, I met you on the reserve side. It was a fun meeting we met. What was it, 7 years ago or so?
Yeah, you hated me.
Oh, no, I didn't hate you.
Rumor is you came in like a wrecking ball.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, and I had to calm you down.
You did. You introduced me to the ways of the Army Reserve.
Yeah, how to just chill the fuck out, relax, smoke a joint.
That's right.
Not really.
No. Wait, you guys can do that in the Army?
I wish.
No.
Yeah, do you want to join?
Yeah.
No.
All right, we got a lot of things to hit up today. We're going to get more into some Q&A here with the Chief. But first things first, I have to put this out there right away. Like, subscribe, follow, please share, all that fun shit. Semperhoo.com, blah, blah, blah. I know, I hate doing it.
Give us money.
No, it's really bad. We're not begging for it. But these mics are really expensive. All right.
Yeah, I hear about it every fucking week.
So we've got military current events like crazy this week. Some not so much military, but has to do with it in there. I know that. We got a POG Pro, which is going to be kind of a long one. It's kind of a retro POG Pro.
Yeah, very retro, but an epic story nonetheless.
Yeah, we got a Scum Bag Service Member of the Week. We want to do some more, but I know we had some people out there asking for more scumbags to do in our segments.
Can never have enough scumbags.
I know, there's just so many.
There's so many, but we also have to save something for next week.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
There's
someone's
so
getting
many.
arrested.
There's no shortage of
We could do a yearly recap. That would be fun.
Yeah. We got a military movie review, and then we're going to get into some Q&A with the Chief over here after that.
At the smoke pit.
All right, so why don't we hit up our first story here. Petey, you want to take that one?
Yeah, right on. Air Force commander is fired for fraternization. They fire people for that?
I wish I would have fired my sergeant for that.
Right?
Douchebag.
The commander of a South Carolina-based airlift unit was fired following an investigation into relationships he had that were deemed inappropriate, according to the Air Force. Colonel Jaron Rowe was found to have engaged in unprofessional relationships and fraternization, according to the statement by the 18th Air Force. He is the commander of the 437th Airlift Wing at Joint Base Charleston. Rowe was fired by Major General Kenneth Bibb Jr., the commander of the 18th Air Force, due to a lack of confidence in his ability to command. He's commanding that dick, though. After the allegations were substantiated, according to the statement, source, Stars and Stripes.
Was he actually commanding that dick? Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten removed.
What was the rank of...
they didn't specify at all.
Yeah, they didn't specify.
It was a thick E3.
I'm guessing, it's probably like some LT.
LT.
I'm guessing. Well, think about it. He was a colonel, right? Full bird.
Yeah.
Full bird. Can't even speak right now. But you know what? They have little helpers, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
The thick E3.
They're drivers.
I mean,
yeah.
you're the closest thing to an officer. Like, do you?
Not a real officer. Wait, the only reason I'm an officer, and I know this, is because I'm supposed to have a driver, but they don't want to give me a driver. So they're just like, you're a warrant officer.
As a warrant officer?
Yeah, if you're a real officer.
I got excited for a second.
Deserve a driver?
Man.
This is bullshit.
I want to.
I need somebody to drive my golf cart.
I need a runner, man.
Yeah, just call it a caddy. Whatever you want.
Did they issue you a caddy?
Yeah, we get issued a caddy, but no driver. It's kind of bullshit.
That is kind of bullshit. You gotta find your own. Fuck that.
Tom, I'm gonna let you have the next one because it's fun.
Ooh, it's fun.
It's making fun of the Army.
Oh, I remember reading part of this one. Air Force General says of Army's long-range precision fires goal, it's stupid. Were those the actual words, or did he
Probably.
elaborate a
No,
little?
Yeah.
that's it. It's stupid.
Yeah, I would have said it's fucking stupid, but I guess you got to be politically correct as an officer. Why in the world would we entertain a brutally expensive idea when we don't, as the Defense Department, have the money to do that? F-35. Timothy Ray leads the Air Force Global Strike Command, said during the Mitchell Institute's Aerospace Advantage podcast. I've had a few congressmen ask me, and you know what? Honestly, I think it's stupid, he said. Just think, it's a stupid idea to go and invest that kind of money that recreates something that the service has mastered and that we're doing already right now. Why in the world would you try that? The long-range precision fires effort currently ranks as the Army's top modernization priority, and the service has plans to field ground-launched hypersonic missile system by 2023. I don't know. As a guy that worked in armor for my entire time in a hot climate, I would think that the Army should probably prioritize putting a fucking AC in a goddamn armored vehicle for once.
Someone's
The Army has
obsessed.
had those
Yeah,
since
we-
forever. What are you talking about?
We have AC.
I had AC on my ship in my own
Fuck
little
all
bunk.
of you. All right.
Just remember that the Marines get the bust down Army
Yeah,
stuff.
we take the air conditioning out
There you
before
go.
we give them to
We
the
have that
Marines.
shit in the reserves
Right.
even. Ah, man.
But you know what?
You
You
It
see
actually
the
does make-
bitterness in Sam's face? You see that? Oh, man.
It makes a lot of sense, though, because, I mean, you're going to have situations where you have denied air capabilities or naval capabilities and stuff. We still got to shoot from afar, so let that steel rain.
Yeah. But again, like I love how he's using money as the reason why they shouldn't be doing this. When
They do that all
literally,
the time. They try to cut this. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? I've had a few congressmen ask me. Really?
Yeah.
Did you?
Did you seriously?
Were they asking about this?
Was it the same congressman that asked about why the F-35 is so fucking expensive?
The vertical takeoff.
Oh yeah, it's all because of
And
that.
stealth.
Hey, it got an ND, so
That was pretty awesome.
good on you, Airwing.
Airwing does pop.
Oh.
All right. Petey, you want the next one?
Sure. Alleged U.S. Army veteran arrested for organizing a photo shoot in Dubai that led to arrest of 40 women for public debauchery. Why is this guy not our POG professional?
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
though.
he's alleged. So
Alleged.
Oh
okay.
yeah,
yeah.
I
We
guess
haven't
we have to
actually
wait for
verified.
confirmation.
Yeah, we got to FOIA his DD-214.
You had to blur the lines there.
Let's
Right.
see if I got the actual picture up from the photo shoot. That's just them there. Keep going with it, though.
All right. The
There it is.
Ukrainian
Ah, there,
man
yeah.
detained alongside the models has been identified as Vitaly Grechin, a Kiev native. Grechin, who has been traveling and taking photos with the women, has reportedly spent much of his life in America and even claimed he served in the U.S. Army before returning to his hometown for a job at the American Embassy.
Nice.
On April 5, approximately 40 women from Eastern Europe have been arrested in Dubai for posing nude on a balcony. Dubai police confirmed that the group, comprised mostly of Ukrainian nationals in their mid-20s, had been arrested on public debauchery charges.
It's Dubai's. What kind of laws are that? They're just
Sharia?
terrible laws.
Sharia.
It's
The
just
kind that get your
terrible.
head cut
It's
off?
just terrible.
Yeah, it is completely horrible, and also like they're arresting these women for posing nude on a balcony. Like, how many like Middle Eastern sheiks have rented these Ukrainian women to do more on a balcony than just pose nude?
Oh,
It was like 40 of them, though. It's pretty hot, though.
jeez.
I mean, good on them, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we didn't have any more info if he actually was
Yeah.
or not, but
Yeah, I guess he couldn't be the POG Pro unless he actually was in the military.
Yeah.
So claiming to be.
technically. I mean,
Okay.
we could have guessed we
Yeah.
could have made one anyway.
Are we really going to run a stolen valor charge on this guy then?
No,
No,
not for that. That was a
no.
really
Not
good
until
job.
it's confirmed.
And that was actually submitted by one of our listeners, too.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
thanks, Al.
Yeah.
It was a good
word.
find.
Word. Good
Very
for them.
good
Good on them.
Sam, is this yours?
Oh, no. This is OG's because
Oh,
he wants
jeez.
them.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Sexually transmitted infections increasing in the military. All right. That's, yeah. Cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis have increased significantly across the military over the past 8 years, the study found. The study analyzed administrative data and reports for all 4 branches of the military to provide a comprehensive picture of STIs between 2012 and 2020. Of the 4 branches, I love this one. Here we go. The Army had the highest rates of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and genital herpes. The Navy had the highest rates of syphilis, and the Air Force had the highest rates of HPV. They did not mention the Corps because I think they put you under the
Oh, they
Navy.
just
First
didn't
of all,
want
if
to
we-
admit how bad it was.
Yeah, they could've
before.
been.
It was just
Also-
outrageous. Like, we can't put these numbers out.
For a 200,000 strong force, like, if we were outdoing all the other branches in that,
I
I'd
could
really.
see you guys doing it, though.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
animals.
There was that one time in Tijuana.
There you go.
I didn't go to Tijuana.
There was that one time in
All right, who wants the next one?
What do we got?
I'll take it. Rise in military telework boosted productivity but added security risks, IG says.
You don't say.
Right. I mean, there's only so much about taking your laptop home, right? Defense Department personnel reported being more productive and possibly happier due to the sharp increase in telework brought on by the coronavirus pandemic. But the shift from traditional office work also has increased security risks.
What was that tweet from last week?
Which one was the last
What are
one?
you talking about?
The DOD tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That one. Yeah.
Nearly 50% of the roughly 50,000 military personnel surveyed reported higher levels of production because the first sausage wasn't around, while another 41% said their effectiveness remained the same. Various Defense Department components also did not fully implement controls to maintain cybersecurity, which put the department at higher risk of becoming victims to cyber attacks.
Why don't they just maintain this shit and get it covered so they can operate?
Well, dude, all right, look at this survey here, right?
Whatever.
They surveyed
Looks like it's
50,000
comfortable
personnel,
to do
right?
it
Of
at
course
home.
you're going to fucking say, yeah, I'm a lot better working at
right?
home.
Yeah.
Like, why else would you, put the uniform on, go to some shitty government building with beige walls and horrible fluorescent lighting. Yeah, that
Fucking
sounds like a good time.
formation.
Like any of that shit. Like, it just, fuck yeah, I'd say, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, who wants to field day their office and their house in the same day? Just do one.
It works out because everybody in the Army got to experience what it was like to be a chief for at least a little bit of time.
Oh, just rub that in.
Right.
Rub that in a little bit. Also, I love the picture that you put up for this. Is that actually a member of the Army?
I don't know. I was looking for telework and it came up. I just without a shirt
I
on.
thought that was a
perfect.
picture of me for a second. Like, oh, God.
You should have put up the picture of Jeff from the cyber awareness course. He's shitting a brick right now.
Oh god, what's next? What's coming?
Oh, I got this one. I got this one.
Okay.
Marine vet
This is-
condemns marijuana.
This is outstanding bullshit.
I found this one this week. So, Marine vet condemns marijuana, says he toked up in Kentucky and woke up in Kenya.
Right.
First of all,
Sounds like he got drunk and woke up in Kenya.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. But I would love to get a hold of the weed that this dude was smoking for that one, man. Shit.
I ain't gonna. Yeah, fucking.
You
He's
get
just,
him on
he's
the
just
show?
looking for an excuse
He's
for
actually well,
being.
read up the rest of it so
Yeah.
you can find out who he is because he's actually huge guy, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I've never heard of him. Marine veteran and media personality Greg Kelly tweeted, "Smoking weed, aka grass, is not a good idea. I've tried it back in the day, and it was worse than anything that happened to Hunter Biden."
Oh my god!
Oh, jeez.
Jesus
guy.
Christ! Seriously?
You had to bring that in.
Yeah, dude, it was in the article. It literally was.
Nice.
I toked up with some buddies in Kentucky and woke up 4 days later in Nairobi, Kenya, with no idea what happened. Don't do drugs. Kenya does have a few of the same letters as Kentucky. Perhaps it was simply marijuana-induced wrong turn. But 4 days straight?
Wow. Yeah, like there was something in that fucking weed. It was something. Unless they roofied him. And
Bullshit.
Right.
I just
Calling
don't
it
see
straight
someone
up
smoking
bullshit.
pot and ordering a pizza. Perhaps is the worst. To come
Sounds
out
like
of
he
it.
got high on his way to do his like church mission building like school buildings in
Yeah.
Kenya.
He is from
Yeah.
Kentucky. I mean, honestly, when I used to smoke weed a lot, the one thing that I had to risk was how much money I would spend on Dove bars.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
I use
I'm
it.
a fancy fuck, man. I love that dark
I
chocolate.
use it to help boom boom noises sound less bad.
I don't know. I've never touched this stuff, so you know.
All right.
I also have my.
All right, I got
security
I
clearance
got
going
this
through right
one.
now. Oh yeah, get out of here. All right.
Army veteran urges California lawmakers to decriminalize psychedelic drugs. Jose Martinez believes psychedelic drugs saved his life. A 32-year-old U.S. Army veteran said he felt worthless and depressed when he returned from a deployment in Afghanistan, where he lost both his legs and an arm after stepping on an improvised explosive device. 6 years ago, he said he discovered psilocybin mushrooms. He credits them with bringing him back from the brink. Martinez urged California lawmakers to help others like him by advancing a bill that would decriminalize psychedelic drugs like mushrooms and LSD. He told the Senate Public Safety Committee that therapies could be used to prevent suicides. The committee voted to approve the bill, which now goes before the Senate Health Committee. Now, I'm going to add to this. Back in 2017, I went to Oakland for the Psychedelic Science Convention, where it's a week-long deal. You do workshops. I did workshops on MDMA, assisted psychotherapy, and also did a workshop on psilocybin for terminal patients. And overall, throughout that week there, it looks like this is going to be the new this is going to be the new form of medicine for depression and for PTSD
like microdosing
and stuff
wise,
like that.
though, right?
Well, yeah, what they find out with a lot of these is it grows new neurons and rather fast. So the idea of doing like maybe microdosing or doing psychotherapy with it will help grow new neurons over the traumatic,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan
traumatic
shit right here.
areas.
There was another study that I saw, like with dosing of ketamine in order to like
For
suppress
depression, yes, yeah.
So there's a lot of good science that's coming out of it.
I did an ayahuasca ceremony when I was out there, and it was amazing. I was actually felt grounded and had a glow for about over 2 weeks, so
Oh,
about
wow.
2 to 3 weeks. That's without having to take anything every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of promise here. So yeah, good for this guy, and let's go.
I can say for this, when I fall into a K-hole, I am not depressed at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he blew up, lost both his legs.
Yeah, he should be able
yeah.
to do whatever he wants
Yeah,
at that
no
point.
I mean,
Shit,
for
that's
real.
right.
The government should actually be like, hey, are we
Yeah,
confiscating
they are.
all
The
this?
government,
Here you
government's
go.
looking at MDMA, assisted psychotherapy, and
I
all
keep hearing
this.
about this micro only through Joe Rogan's podcast, though.
Yeah, he talks about it a lot.
MAPS
Which
is the
which is
program
kinda
too.
making me
That
go,
is
like,
part
There's a
of it.
literal meme about it.
Right.
It's like Joe Rogan's podcast. Oh, so you do this, you do that. Have you tried DMT?
He always talks about that, right? Always talks about his little elves. Look over here. He does like it every time I hear him on there.
See, and for all the naysayers out there, this podcast isn't just us talking shit nonstop. Again, we're promoting this. This is
Yeah.
a good thing. Get this stuff out there.
Yeah.
Brought to you by The More You Know.
There you go.
We do talk a lot of shit, though. Like a lot of
Clearly.
We need to step up our game on this one. We're like lagging behind there. Pete, come on.
There you
man.
go.
Yes, get us up. Give me the next one.
I got another good one here. Military sea mine washes up on a Florida beach.
Jeez.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Orange.
Daddy.
They had a drone, too.
Right.
Oh my God.
All right. Orange cones lined the sand at Fort Lauderdale
Holy
by the sea, marking off a section of the beach closed for several hours after a deputy on patrol found that a possible explosive training device had washed the shore. The Broward County Sheriff's Office bomb squad arrived at the beach about 2:30 a.m. to examine the device, which turned out to be a sea mine. The word inert was painted on its side. The mine was removed, turned over to the Air Force, and the beach was reopened without incident.
Dude, can you imagine walking on the beach and be like tripping over that shit?
I just
Dude,
want
I'd try to haul that back to my house.
that would be a cool
Right?
thing. I
Right.
just want to point out the fact that they closed a section of the beach. They didn't close the whole beach. They're
just a
just like, you know what? Just a little bit.
This is
It's Florida.
We don't know if there's any more coming, but right now we got this right here to worry
I
about.
like the couple of prongs that are sticking out of it. You think
Yeah.
stepping on a Lego is bad?
Yeah, right.
It's not the explosion that gets you. It's
Normally I'd be pissed off, but
You can buff that out.
Running into this one.
Fuck.
Ooh, this is a fun one. Sami, you
Oh,
should take
God.
this one.
oh god, oh yeah, okay.
I'm sorry to laugh.
Because it's funny.
That's fucking great.
Tennessee man charged with aiding ISIS, just harmless loser, his lawyer says.
Aw.
God, what kind of piece of shit do you have to be where a guy you're paying calls you
Hey,
harmless
I'll
loser?
keep going because I want to talk more about this lawyer.
Yeah. Prosecutors say a Tennessee man has been helping spread Islamic State propaganda, but a defense attorney told the judge the man's a loser who lives with his mother and isn't a threat. Benjamin Allen Carpenter, dubbed Abu Hamza, was arrested in Knoxville, Tennessee after a grand jury indicted him on charges of attempting to provide material support and resources to ISIS, the Justice Department announced. Carpenter has not traveled to meet with ISIS members outside the U.S. and mostly works from a bedroom in his mother's home.
Those are the worst.
In
They're the
Knoxville.
people living with their parents.
Oh God!
So before we keep going, like, what's going on with you? Because like something's rumbling on over there.
Oh, dude, it was late. I had some fast food last night. Yeah,
Okay, all right. The chief over here is like, what's going on?
It was that Italian beef.
All right, keep going.
Sam is also our Seaburn threat. Gas, gas, gas.
Not yet. I'll give you guys
One
an
behind you.
appropriate warning.
Go on.
All right.
All right. Works for his mother's home in Knox County. His attorney said at the hearing, Assistant Federal Defender Benjamin Sharp described his client as part nerd, part loser, who spends most days on a computer in the bedroom where he's lived for more than 2 years since breaking up with a girlfriend. He
Hey
has
man, at least I'm housebroken.
He has no bank account, no car, works a few hours a week as a pet sitter.
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ. Also, Scotty, you have a family, a house, you have 2 cars.
An income.
An income. Yeah.
yeah.
His lawyer is smart though. This is good. He's pointing out
mean-
that he's a big dipshit.
Yeah. I mean,
He's probably gonna get off.
No, he's just a public defender. He's not paying him anything. It says assistant
no
federal
way.
defender.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
This is a great public
That's
defender.
even better.
I mean,
Like,
but this guy's like totally just ripping on his own client.
He's
Also-
going places with this.
yeah, why call him a nerd, though? Why disparage nerds? He's
Hey,
definitely a loser, though.
He's just making it sound like he's just a keyboard warrior. He's not really doing shit. I mean,
He
look
kind
at
of reminds
him.
me
He
of
is
your
a piece of
cousin.
shit.
Hey, that look in his eyes, man. I don't know. A lot of these crazies come out of their mom's basements, and
Right.
you know.
Real question is, how did he provide material support with no
Yeah.
bank account? That's,
He's
that's
mining
impressive.
bitcoins for ISIS.
Ah,
Could be that. yeah.
Let's not count him out just yet, because
oh, I'm not. I'm just saying the lawyer is good.
Honestly, though,
my client's
This
a
is-
fucking
this is what-
moron.
this is what pisses me off about these jackasses, right? This asshole could grow a better beard than me.
Yeah, yours is kind of ratty.
Yeah, it is.
Your stash is good.
Thank you.
I can't grow shit. I haven't
Yeah,
been
well,
able to
I grow the
shit forever.
You've
Well,
always had a baby.
You're
face.
kind of lucky with that, bud. But I mean, like, I grow out the beard because if I just keep the mustache, then people get like, date rapey, predatory vibes out of me, and I just
I
don't
think
like
I
that.
get that anyway.
Well, it doesn't help when you write like free candy or free puppies on the side of your
I know.
car.
On your
anyways.
van.
I would never write that on my Subaru. That is
license plate.
that is a lesbian mobile to the utmost. All right, it came with a set of Birkenstocks.
you with your? Can you help me with this furniture? You can go freaking Silence of the Lambs.
I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck. me.
fuck me.
Okay.
All right. Army CID.
Cue Lazarus.
There you go. Army CID investigating missing DC National Guard rifle. An M4 rifle belonging to a DC National Guard unit is still at large following a training event at Fort AP Hill, Virginia
This is a
in
joke,
March.
right?
No, it's
This is
legit.
a joke.
This is legit.
Why is it National Guard every fucking week, man?
Hey.
And it's
That's
missing
the nasty
since
guard.
No,
March.
it's never
Nasty
positive.
girls.
I'm surprised they're not doing Hands Across America yet.
So,
looking for it.
so much for the kids. Now it's weapons. They're like, yeah, I know Billy's been gone for a while, but we got a weapon to find here. Let's put him on the box.
I checked just again. I think it was the other day. It's still been missing since what was it? Say the 11th of
March 11th.
Right. So special agents are looking into the rifle's disappearance, according to CID. The rifle went missing after a March 11th training, and when unit leadership wasn't able to locate it, CID took over.
So, dude, that's a long time. It's gone.
Why didn't this guy's LT like fucking haze his
Dude, I
ass?
feel horrible for that commander.
Well, he's
Oh,
probably,
he's gonna catch some.
he probably has gotten big shit.
That's going to be a $2,600 flipple.
I really want to know like why this commander wasn't fired for a loss of confidence. They still can't find a fucking rifle.
Right.
Yeah, we were still able to find that sniper rifle in Iraq when they had that
dude,
overrun.
When it makes the news too, like you're the commander, and then like, oh, it's in the fucking news, and then assholes like us are just spewing it out even more. And
Right.
It's like, ugh.
Oh God, fuck, will it end?
When you make it on Army What the Fuck moments.
Chief, I feel like you got to say something on this. Please, just fire away, bud.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm also curious as to how many people are in the Washington, D.C. National Guard that they made news on losing a rifle. There's like 3 rifles in the entire Washington, D.C. National Guard. They lost one of them.
Yeah, like no one lives in DC. Everyone lives.
Are these the guys that are guarding the Capitol right now? Is that what's up?
I don't know if no.
I mean, it gives you a lot of
close by,
confidence
yeah.
if it is, right?
About 2,700 soldiers in the DC Guard.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the entire city, isn't it?
man, you're turning into Jamie.
Right.
Love you, Pete.
Hey, right on.
All right.
It's going to be that time.
Is it
Everybody's
that time?
favorite.
Ooh,
time?
is
Is
it
it
that
that
time?
time?
Professional. I
And
love
our-
the MVGs.
Hey, we got the
Love
new logo up,
MVGs.
which is the
New logos
shirts.
up.
New merch is
Yeah.
up, guys. That's it right there.
I'm
Go to
so excited.
semperhua.com. Check out our merch.
All right. Are you ready for the long and winded one? It's all you, Sam.
Oh God.
I'm subcontracting out this whole episode.
Gotta stretch this one out. You know, this is a
Donahue?
yeah,
The
man.
white-haired guy?
John Chick
Oh,
Donahue.
Oh, okay, him.
For a second, I thought that said retarded and not retired.
I didn't get
so-
to hear about this. This is bullshit. All right.
All right, so this is a vintage one. We feel like this guy has not gotten his due credit over the years. They make so many military movies, they make so many military comedies, and yet there is nothing that has been made about this man's epic beer run.
Tell us more.
So here we go.
I'm intrigued.
Marine veteran John Chick Donahue, who traveled all over war-torn Vietnam in 1968 just to drop off some beers to his neighborhood buddies fighting the war. Oh, God, you're my hero, bud. Love you to death. Where were you in Iraq?
Well, I don't think you can drink over there, but
No, you can't. No, they changed that after Vietnam. Thanks.
Yeah, but when the Kurds come driving by, you can get a few when you're doing vehicle checks.
Oh, yeah,
If
fair
we
enough.
don't talk about that, stop. You know, like there's still people deployed out there. Like let's do them a solid and not write our TTPs. Okay.
Yeah, it does. It definitely doesn't
Jesus.
come. It definitely doesn't come in the mail in mouthwash bottles. Anyway,
look at this stand-up guy.
Stop it.
Donahue, a Marine veteran, wanted to do something to let the troops know they were still appreciated. That's when a friend suggested that someone brings them some beer. You know, like any other beer run, except all the way out in Vietnam. He packed a sea bag full of Pabst Blue Ribbon, my beer of choice. Oh, hold on a second. I lost my place.
Got a job.
He packed a sea bag full of Pabst Blue Ribbon, got a job on the merchant vessel Drake Victory. He was in the Merchant Marines at the time, which was hauling ammunition out to the war. He began his legendary months-long trek. Unfortunately, the PBR did not survive the sea journey. Oh, my God. That's tragic. It took 2 months to get there, so I drank all the beer. So now in his 70s.
There we go.
Was a little thirsty on
He
this voyage.
becomes more and more my
It's hot
hero.
out here.
More and more my hero as things go
Round
on.
one, you know?
Yeah.
I get it.
It was all right, though. Donahue stocked back up again when he arrived in Quy Nhon Harbor in central Vietnam in early 1968. Now it was just a matter of finding the neighborhood boys. Luckily, shortly after arriving, he found some soldiers from the 127th Military Police Company.
Ah, them peas.
Keeps getting better. Donahue shared a few drinks with Collins, a soldier, on a list he compiled, and then he was off to find the other names on his list. Keep in mind that this was at the beginning of the Tet Offensive, a campaign of bloody surprise attacks across the country that kicked the war into a new gear of violence. But Donahue was undaunted, talking his way onto convoys, military mail planes, and
He went to Quezon, too?
transport helicopters bound for
Hey,
Quezon.
man.
And K, what is
Wow.
Saigon?
On K, Saigon, and places in between, often just in jeans and casual button-downs.
I'm a contractor.
Yeah, basically.
What year was this?
1968.
Yeah.
68, okay.
All right, so he
keeps
was
going.
he was in a combat zone, and here he was walking around like he's going on a golf outing. Oh, Chief, you feel proud of that, or whether he's or whatever the hell he's going. Collins said in a 2015 video about the beer run made by Pabst Blue Ribbon, "We got drunk, needless to say. The greatest beer run ever is getting a war movie made about it, finally. Actors Russell Crowe and Zac Efron are in talks to star in the picture, and Bill Murray may be cast in a supporting role."
Nice.
Fuck
All
yeah.
right.
Fuck the supporting. He should play him.
Bill Murray's
Murray?
way too old.
Too old, yeah.
I guess.
Honestly, he could play him. If they
true, I
could
keep
do it where
forgetting.
When he
he's
gets
telling the
older?
story, telling
There
the
you
story,
go.
and then you
Yeah.
have Zac
That'll work.
Efron playing him as a young,
That makes more sense.
yeah.
Pretty crazy, though.
Source.
Yeah, dude.
This is
Amazing
from
story.
Task and Purpose, so you can get the whole article on Task and Purpose.
And this
but-
story's been out actually for a while.
I like
But-
that. That's still fascinating.
I know
Nice.
it's so epic. This guy is truly
Salute,
unbelievably
salute, salty
a
salute.
POG Pro.
Yeah.
Cheers to you,
Poke
good
Pro.
Yes.
Rock on, Devil Derp.
Devil
Keep doing
Derp.
it.
sir. Also going to be a new shirt.
Yes, Devil Derp coming out soon.
We're working on a few different things. All right. Are we ready to do our
Yes.
Scumbag Service Member of the Week?
Scumbag.
Fucking cool.
You suck. So,
All right.
our scumbag this week is Navy Lieutenant.
Yeah, you can leave it as
Nathaniel-
lady.
Yeah, lady.
Lady.
Nathaniel Allison. My carrots are extra boiled today.
He has a douchebag name to go with his scumbaggery.
So
Just
good
looks
on
like
you.
a
we
piece
got a lot of
shit.
people that sent
Guy
in for
looks
this
like he
one.
has a stick up his ass, doesn't he?
This was a tough one because we were going to add a couple more, but I wanted to keep it just to one this week before we start doing our multi-segments.
There were a couple too, Tree,
Well,
that
let's
we
get to the scumbag.
we wanted.
Yeah, but let's hear about it there, Petey.
Yeah, the Navy has disciplined Lieutenant Allison after an investigation determined he wrote a letter complaining about being forced to live with the enlisted sailors.
Oh, poor
God
fucking
forbid,
baby.
That he described as deviants and perverts who posed a risk to his family.
I mean, to be fair, he's not
They
wrong
were
about the
smoking the
deviant.
devil's lettuce.
In the typo-ridden letter, Allison alleged that the enlisted quarters were unsafe for his family due to rampant drug use, alcoholism, sexual assaults, and other perverts.
Yes.
I kind of feel like that would have been bigger news than his little fucking letter if that was the case.
Right. Then he writes on, I have a good-looking family, a wife,
Wow.
2 daughters aged 3 and 4. They are prime targets to be victims for these enlisted deviant activities. My family should be safe in housing that is with officers. Officers are more respectable than these type of deviant activities that are incredibly rare compared to deviant activities of enlisted being common.
This guy is an entitled piece of shit. That's what he
Can I
sounds
just
like.
say the fact that I have a good-looking family. There is not a chance in hell that this fucking ass clown makes good-looking
Oh
anything.
no, they all
You know?
they all
That's
fell
actually
off
him.
the ugly
Oh my
tree,
God.
hitting every branch.
Like,
No,
That mustache.
that
though.
was Jody's work.
dude, that mustache looks date rapey as fuck, man.
Angry Cops did a whole nice little video on him this week
Oh,
too.
did they
which is-
really?
Oh, it's really
I
good.
gotta check it out.
Yeah, he lit him up like a motherfucker.
Please put that link in the description.
I definitely will.
There you go. So, just to go on with our scumbag, the command's investigation into this matter has concluded and been adjudicated with appropriate disciplinary measures taken. The command cannot release or discuss the details of administrative actions for misconduct due to privacy regulations, but yet all the Article 15s I've ever seen have always been on our wall of shame.
Oh, yeah, or they
You
just
know-
fucking call you out in formation.
That's right.
Well, this one got a lot of heat, so they're
Well,
gonna keep it
the
quiet.
issue is the Navy disciplined him by moving him into the officer housing.
Oh.
And
Oh god, that's a hell of a discipline. You know what? Honestly, they should have just like put him. They should have just put him in like enlisted quarters on a fucking LSD and see how much he likes that one. You want to see deviants and perverts? I walked around naked in that fucking thing.
Oh god.
I know. Picture that one, man.
It just took a second though. Oh, it's horrible.
It was really hot.
just
I was really
burped, dude.
greasy.
Well, you were a little more better in shape.
I
though,
was
back
hot.
then.
Little bit,
I was
little bit.
thirsty.
Even though he was
40
better in
pounds
shape,
lighter.
though, he still has a face made for radio, though.
I do.
True, though.
I do.
It's okay.
I am truly a handsome man.
You are. I'd fuck you.
I have a
I'd
face
fuck
for like
me.
Cabbage
I'd
Patch
fuck me.
Kids.
What'd you say, Scotty?
I have a face for Cabbage Patch Kids.
Wow, that is a deep fucking cut
Garbage
there,
Pail
bud.
Kids.
you
Excuse
go.
me.
Garbage
Even
Garbage
deeper.
Pail Kids.
Even deeper
Not
cut.
Cabbage Patch. Garbage Pail Kids.
Okay.
We should put a link up for those too, for people who don't understand what those are.
we're showing our age.
When did
just
they
so
stop
dark.
that shit?
Oh, that was like early fucking 80s, man.
Right.
Really? I thought
Maybe
they-
mid.
the garbage one?
Yeah.
I swear in the 90s we had that
90s,
shit.
yeah.
Maybe.
Garbage
Yeah, the
Pail
90s kids
Kid.
had them.
Maybe I just grew out of it.
Because you're a
too.
little, you're a little
You
young.
were
I
into
don't get your age up,
Pogs
but
at that time,
You're a
son.
couple years younger than me.
Wait,
Yeah.
what are pogs?
Oh, you remember
Pog.
Pogs.
Oh.
Not Pogs, Pogs. The little
Pogs.
things you like
Yeah.
slap down. And
What, the shit they gave us at AFES
Yes.
overseas because
Yes.
they didn't want to ship fucking coins out there, and
Yep.
now I have money that I can't spend?
Yes,
Sure.
those.
Thank you, AFES. Go fuck
All
yourself.
right, so that's scumbag though. Salute to you.
It's illegal
Salute.
to do that.
Thank you
yeah.
for making the news. We had some other ones we want to get into, but we're gonna do more. We're gonna hold you a new segment next week with that. I think
Oh.
we'll
Yeah,
break it down more. Well, unless you guys want to talk about the other ones. I didn't prepare.
Well,
anything.
I mean, I don't have the prepared material,
Yeah.
so this is going to be like
That's
going in
fine.
blind and stuff. And
Sometimes that's fun.
I mean,
we'll
if
save
you
it.
want to do it, I'm
We'll
flexible.
save it. AAR. We'll do an AAR on it. How about that?
Okay, I'm cool. I'm
Okay.
cool with that.
You're using,
I will
you're
not
using
get that drunk then
terminology
today.
I do not
After
understand.
After action
After
review.
After action review. All right.
Report.
Report, right?
Report.
Yeah, that's how
Review.
we understand it.
After action
Whatever.
report.
The fucking army, man, Scott, they don't get it, man.
We don't get it.
No, you don't.
Okay. Okay.
They don't rate swords, dude.
All right, military
You guys
review
don't eat
time. Time for you to
swords?
shut up.
No.
That's it. Marines, shut up. Army's taking over here. Fuck off. All right. So there was
So
a little
happy,
confusion
yeah.
when we asked our guest to pick out a movie because he
Yeah.
was joking about the last thing because he picked some serious titles and we were being bitches about all of it and didn't want to cry
Yeah.
watching
Yeah,
those. So
Especially after we were soldiers.
I
Yeah,
know.
that was some
That-
ugly
that hit
crying. It's going to
everybody.
take me
So-
months to recover from.
we did Starship Troopers. All right.
It's funny because you actually got the movie wrong. I wanted Starship Troopers 3.
Oh, is that the one you wanted?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Oh, great.
Oh,
All
which one was that one?
Well,
It was-
I don't know. I've actually never seen it.
You've never
I made
seen
that
it?
up.
I've
No.
seen all of them.
Look
I've
at
heard
him.
they're terrible.
you've seen all of them?
Yes. So the second one's kind of terrible, but it's got that chick from Nip Tuck in it, and she's like walking around like stark ass naked the whole fucking movie for
have to go
whatever
watch that.
reason.
So
That made it kind of watchable. The third one was just absolute trash. I only saw it once, but they did do an animated one about 4 years ago, maybe.
Denise Richards. that's
called-
what I was
Yeah,
catching up.
called Traitor
Neil
of
Patrick
Mars,
Harris,
and that
too,
one
I
was pretty
forgot
good.
was in there.
They actually had power armor in the animated one, so
They need to bring that movie back. Like they need to do a remake of this movie because it is definitely a great book, and it's even a.
yes, and it should follow
you read
the
the
book
book
better
too?
than the movie.
I read part of the book.
And I realized that
lazy.
the director was the same as RoboCop and what was the other one we were
Total
discussing?
Recall?
Total Recall.
and Showgirls.
Yeah, so
Oh,
like
Showgirls.
there's a
Showgirls.
lot.
Yes.
You watch this
Explains
movie, you
that.
see a lot of resemblance of
Yeah.
like Total Recall and RoboCop.
So the great thing about this movie, right? Paul Verhoeven, the director, did it very much like he did RoboCop. Because if you remember in RoboCop, how they had those commercials every so often that were like talking about like how bad the future is, like the ozone is gone and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And that's very much been like a staple of his thing. He's basically doing a lot of like commentary about like how things can get worse and how bad things can be if we don't prevent it. And he got a lot of shit for doing that.
Okay.
Because people took it they took it as being extremely serious when he was deliberately doing it to show that
Gotcha.
he did it as a satire. Is what
So
he
this
did.
wasn't supposed to be like 1984.
Yes. Well, he showed that it could be like 1984.
So-
And Robert Heinlein, the guy who wrote this book, was very like authoritarian back in the 50s and very pro like nuclear war with Russia, which is where a lot of that shit comes
you
from.
can
in the
see.
book
Sounds
and the
like a
movie.
trooper.
All right, so Starship Troopers, humans in a fascist, militaristic future wage war with the giant alien bugs. Which is
They
weird.
remember.
Yeah.
They suck your
Miltar-
brains out too and gather
militaristic
info.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of
It was
Man.
a pretty good crew, though. I mean, you had Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico.
which
Right.
what the hell has he been after that?
He's
Yes.
he's pretty much
Yes.
only done that role. So he
Okay.
did that role. He reprised the role in Starship Troopers 3, and he did the voice acting for the,
Denise
the
Richards,
fourth
though.
one.
A lot of cheesy dialogue that I really enjoyed.
Well, they did that on purpose to make it look like a propaganda film.
Right.
Did they?
And
Yeah.
then you also had Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
although,
Right here, by the way,
That's it, yep.
the intel
Right.
chief,
the Intel chief.
basically the same dude in that whole movie.
Which is why we chose the movie.
Hey,
Yeah.
there's worse people I could pick to play me in a movie. So,
And
Right.
PH.
NPH, man.
But, you know, Doogie Howser was such a dick in the movie, though.
he was kind of an asshole in it.
That's true.
Well, he was an officer.
He's a
He had to
dick
be.
in
Which,
another
you know,
show,
kind of how
too.
Chief could be
What
here,
was
as
that?
I know him. He's a pretty cool guy, but he could be a dick.
Something like
sometimes.
Mother,
You
How
have
I
to
Met
be,
Your
though,
Mother.
right?
I chilled out now.
I know.
I'm a warrant officer now.
Also, he
But-
he got promoted so fucking quick in this movie.
Right.
Like
he made
this guy.
Fullbird.
Yeah. Like this
True.
guy. One day you're an E6, next day you're an officer. Like, how does that work? Anyway.
Whenever we get blown to shit, that's when it works.
Yeah.
Nobody's left.
But we're also missing a couple other people on here. Clancy Brown,
Yeah.
great character actor, playing their drill instructor.
Yep.
Yep.
Did a fantastic job. And Michael Ironsides
Yeah.
playing the lieutenant.
He
man.
was
just hard charging, hard ass. He played a teacher and a lieutenant.
what
in
the
this.
fuck? What else was he in? I'm trying to remember.
Dude, he was in a lot of
I
shit.
know, but
Right.
I'm trying to remember what
He was in Total Recall.
Yes,
Quaid.
He was.
Oh,
When he
yeah.
was talking about Quaid in there. I remember.
He did the last season of Sequest.
Is it Quaid?
Sequest.
Yeah, that
never saw.
old fucking
Never saw Sequest.
sci-fi show.
No.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Even the Intel weenies like
You're
yeah.
losing.
I enjoyed the show because I like
Fucking
the
nerd.
ocean,
Like,
sir.
You got a camo guy and an Intel weenie here, and we're just like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
And
We're losing.
Yeah.
you know what?
All right, let's get to your notes.
Yes. All right, cool. So speaking of Michael Ironsides Ironsides' lecture in the opening scene is like one of my favorite parts of this movie because he outlines their entire culture as being extremely fascist and established it as a military junta, basically, where the military runs the show. And if you want to be a citizen and benefit from all the rights therein, you have to serve. So that was a great opening speech. And then The commercials that are going through the little propaganda videos that are in the movie, they mention things like the public punishments, kind of emphasizing and forcing that society being what it is. Also, the movie is just campy as fuck, which I love.
It is.
You know,
It's super cheesy.
the uniforms in the movie
Oh, yes.
look very much like Nazi
No, they're not
Germany
very-
or
they're
fascist
almost
Italy.
identical at some parts. Like,
Yeah.
the
Right.
Well, they
hats, the
kind of
rank
look like
system on, the collars.
Star
Yeah.
Wars too.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
Yep.
did a
Yeah.
little bit of both, but it definitely took a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
which, by the way, they still wear those same fucking uniforms. The only thing they just don't have a swastika anymore.
The Germans?
Yeah. Oh, when I was there last,
Are you talking about the regular German
the regular
army? or are you
regular
talking
German
about
army
the
right now?
SS?
Still like no, the
Yeah,
regular.
Those
no,
guys
the regular.
don't exist anymore.
I'm talking about, no, I'm
German
talking the
army
regular
didn't
German
wear
army
the
because that's
SS,
what
right?
these
They
uniforms
had their
look like.
own-
Was like the
Well,
German.
to be
SS.
fair, when you get Hugo Boss to design your shit dirt cheap, you just kind of stick with it.
I mean,
Here
it
you
did,
go.
but it threw me off. It was like 2013 when I was out there last, and they were marching down the street. It's the first time I've seen them like on our base. Like they had like a company marching through. And I was like, whoa.
Was it normal military attire or was it SS military attire?
Regular military, not
Regular.
SS shit. I mean, if that would be even,
That'd be a little more freaky.
yeah.
It's
Like,
a theme
oh my
with
God.
every one of
I
your
thought you got rid of
podcasts
this.
that you guys talk about Nazis.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
It comes up a lot.
Fucking
The-
Also-
bootlickers.
I'm going to say this. This is where they really destroy everyone else's uniforms, where they really just get it right and what every other branch of the service should do. Those fucking shoulder pads, bro.
Oh, I know. They had the.
Oh, man.
They look good.
So sexy. So sexy.
All right,
They
back-
did have a nice uniform.
Also, as the movie progresses, they don't really beat around the bush about how brutal war can be, because you see people that are blind, missing limbs and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's
Pretty straightforward.
It's inferred that it was
I like
due
that.
to their service.
Yeah, I like that. Well, the one he goes, you could be a man just like me.
Me.
Turns around, his legs are all chopped off.
Yeah.
He's missing a fucking
Speaking
arm.
of that, you had the guy who, in the beginning of it when he goes to boot camp, he's like, "Oh, I got into Harvard, but it would cost me an arm and a leg to get in." And then later in the movie, he loses his arm and his leg.
Right, right.
That was
Well,
brilliant. I was
He
like,
lost everything else, and then
So, yeah, there is some.
That's true.
Okay, that's keep going.
Spoiler
with it, 'cause
alert.
I want to get it. If you haven't seen it by now,
My bad.
and when Casper Van Dien's character Johnny Rico, when he leaves for boot camp, it was like when I left for boot camp, because he literally left with the clothes on his back because his parents like disowned him.
Did
Right.
your parents? Mine disowned me.
Mine did not disown me. Mine were just basically like, finally, the fuck up is doing something right, you know.
Culinary degree.
But
so sweet.
But going in the Marine Corps, the recruiters tell you like, hey, don't bring anything with you, just whatever.
Is on your back.
Yeah, clothes you're wearing
Shit, I brought everything.
and stuff like. Of course, you guys
army, bro.
get fucking leave in boot camp.
I get to bring my computer and my phone.
Oh, we get to use the phone books on
leave in
Fort
boot
Knox.
camp.
So I bring my
Yeah.
guitar. I want to play my guitar while I'm in boot camp.
Yeah, I just-
Also, I got to say, as a psyoper, I really enjoyed the propaganda commercials.
Yeah,
I'm
You know,
sure you
those
did.
were
I was
awesome.
actually thinking
Oh, yeah,
of you during those. I'm like,
lot of-
that's Pete's job.
Right.
I could do this a lot better.
Yeah. Let's see. The propaganda commercials, great. The commercial about a public execution.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
A murderer was caught today and found guilty.
right. Yeah.
Execution at 11.
Yeah.
All channels.
Interested
I'm like,
in more? I love it because everything's like online.
Would
kinda
you
based,
like to know
give me
more?
I'm like, yes. All right. So, okay.
Yes, I do.
There are parts of it. You're
Please
like, okay.
subscribe to our
These are the
email
part-
address.
These are the parts of the movie that are like, I was like, all right, I like this. There's so much, and I'm like, oh my god, but there's so much. I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny.
I kind of want to see that. The way they did boot camp was
brutal. Old school?
brutal.
Old
Yeah,
school?
I
beating the shit out of each other.
I had some issues with it because like I just think back to like everyone saying like, oh, Marine boot camp is more brutal than all the other branches, and I did not think it was overly brutal. Like I thought it was a lot more disciplined and definitely got hazed a lot.
Well, how would you know? You've never been in mine or ours.
Yeah, I had 4 extra weeks of it, so
Okay, that's fair enough.
all right. So
That alone.
that alone, you were you.
Yeah, we didn't get our coffee
Time-wise.
bar till 2 weeks in. It was terrible.
Yeah, like the fuck, dude. Like, how do you know how rough we had it, bro?
I don't.
you
I-
weren't there.
You weren't there.
You didn't see the shit that we had to deal with.
and guess what? I wouldn't have had to.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back, Clancy Brown, DI, fantastic. One of the things that it's really refreshing to see in the future, their Miles gear actually fucking works.
That was amazing.
They got that right, I
Bravo.
guess. They finally figured it out.
I like it's like
But their Miles gear actually zaps the shit out of the person wearing it too.
Like I said,
You
it
see the guy
works.
like convulsing.
Oh yeah.
It works, but they still use live ammo. Yeah. Oh, great. It works, but we're still going to go fucking live ammo.
This is another one underlying theme throughout the whole movie. The fucking tactics that they use is like so meat grinder-ish. It's like, here, stand in a line, run this way, and shoot.
yeah. Well,
Like,
the shooting
back
hit,
in the
too.
fucking Civil War, everybody lined up.
Yeah, apparently in the future they forgot that cover is still a thing. That doesn't really go away.
But does cover apply to bugs?
Yeah, those bugs are really.
Yeah.
How about fucking air
I mean,
support?
they got around pretty easily.
Yeah, air support.
Where
They
the
land
fuck
on a planet with no fucking air
They literally
support.
land. Remember,
wasn't
they
there air
fly in,
support
but they
at
have
one point?
no air support.
Yeah,
The
D-Day
entire-
had fucking air support.
Oh,
all
yeah,
right,
I'm
they
thinking-
pounded the fuck out of Normandy the night before.
Like that battle, that first battle, like then they're like, oh, all right, we're gonna carpet bomb now. It's like, why weren't you? First of all,
Why?
I'll save you some trouble here. You guys have little nukes. They have these cool little nukes. Why don't you just nuke this whole fucking place?
Yeah,
Let's just solve the
Just
problem.
get the whole
yeah,
planet.
glass
Yeah.
the entire planet.
Right.
Make it one big bowl where the bugs can't.
That's what like part
crawl.
two.
Haven't you think these generals that were thinking about this? There had to be more to it.
I
Didn't
guess
they
there'd be no
address that
movie,
because
too.
like the bugs
Jesus,
went underground?
Oh
I
yeah,
think that was addressed.
Well, just get one with a really big penetrator. You
Yeah.
have it go like 20 clicks
Yeah.
down into the.
we do have bunker busters.
Right.
Moab that shit, man. Anyway, so we were talking about them using live rounds. The live fire exercise. So what I love about this, they have a live fire course that's literally a straight line with little pop-up targets and shit like that. But if you look on the outskirts, there's no like sidewalls. There's like
No.
there's
Oh, people
platoons,
watching. Right.
Yeah.
platoons running and
that's
training
good.
and shit like that.
360. Everyone's around it. Like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, and they're just like running through, shooting live rounds. And
No
then-
NCO with the paddles to say it's a live range.
Yeah, no safe zones.
Yeah, nothing like that. And then the drill instructor saying, "You will exercise caution on my live fire course."
You know what? These are some real disciplined motherfuckers. You know, you got to be disciplined about it. Otherwise, you get lashed
Well, apparently that shows that they actually know how to aim
with their hip.
with their
Because
hip. Like, all shooting from the
they're all
Yeah.
amazing. shooting
They
from
were.
the
There's
hip.
a lot
It's
of
all
hip
s-
shooting going
That was
on.
some spray and pray bullshit throughout the entire movie.
Remember, bugs are big. They don't have to aim. They just got to hit the side,
They talked about that in one of the commercials.
They
Aim
mentioned
for the nerve
spot
stem
that
and
you had
put
to
it down
find a
for
nerve
good.
stem. Yeah, what
Patrick
was all
Harris.
that?
Because they all stand on
they
top
weren't
of them after they
utilizing
go down
that.
and then shoot them. Like easy.
Yeah. The Dear John letter, probably one of the best things ever.
Right.
The whole platoon just being like,
I was hoping she
"Oh."
was gonna show her tits in that.
No, she didn't. Everyone
No.
seems to think that she does. She does not.
Everyone
she
else
shows them in
tits.
Wild Things,
Yeah, I
but
know.
not in that
Everyone
one.
else shows tits, but her in that one.
Yeah, I know.
Before they had TikTok.
Because she was a classic girl, remember?
She was a
Wait,
classic
there
girl.
there was
Then
a
she
girl
realized
that
she needed to
showed
do it
her
in Wild
tits
Things.
Like a
during
year-
the
wasn't that
sex
the same year?
scene when they were about the.
No, that was Diz. That
That
wasn't
was
Denise.
Di-
that
oh,
that was
Denise
Dina
Richards.
Meyer.
Oh no, that was not. Yeah, that wasn't.
is
All
going
right,
on
that
with
wasn't
Scott back
Richards.
there?
Okay.
His chair's like fucking all the way down to the ground.
I don't know.
It's like a little kid.
It's more stability, man.
What are you talking
Lower
about?
to the
It's
ground.
just-
Better
it's
shooting
just-
platform.
It's easier to grab crayons
Yeah,
off the
whatever.
ground.
We do not eat crayons off the ground. That's dirty.
All right, keep your notes. Fucking grunts.
Also, apparently there's no such thing as an NJP in the future. They just lash the fuck out of you, literally.
I love
That was the NJP.
Yeah.
Didn't they mention it was
It was administrative
Administrative punishment.
administrative?
Yeah, but there's no forfeiture of pay, no extra duty or something like that. Nope, you're just gonna get 10 lashes and back to
No,
soldiering.
he got busted down in rank. Remember, he
Yeah,
was
he did.
squad leader.
Yeah, he did get busted.
Yeah, but you're in boot camp. Do you really have rank in boot camp? That's really more of
Still
just kind of
recruits.
like.
He was
yeah.
out of boot camp at that
that
point.
No, he was in boot camp.
Yeah.
still.
Still
boot.
boot
He was in
Yeah.
boot camp.
Yeah, it's after the dude
Um,
gets his ass shot in the face.
Fast promotions and field promotions. That was
The lashings, though.
Yeah, the lashing.
I think, dude, nobody's gonna be fucking around. You bring lashings back.
Fair enough. Although, as someone who's been NJP'd, I would have preferred not.
Yeah, well,
get
I would have
Yeah,
done half the
same
shit.
Also,
I
when
agree.
I got NJP'd, they forgot my paperwork, so I never had to do my extra duty. Haha, fuck you all.
All of a sudden, his phone rings.
Yeah.
Somebody heard that.
Yeah, well, until my captain actually does his extra duty for his DUI that he got,
We're still on this guy. All right,
Yeah.
keep going.
Anyway.
with the notes. Jesus Christ,
He's
Don't
not
mix up on
sour.
that. He's not. Not
All right.
they busted down my
Get
buddy for the same thing. All
over
right.
it.
Anyway,
20 years ago.
17, motherfucker.
It's coding every day.
They showcase inter-service rivalry fantastically
Yeah,
in this
that
movie
was
too.
good.
right.
Like the
Well, with the officers
Yeah.
and the enlisted.
Not
like,
with
Flyboys and then you know.
Yeah. I mean, now granted, there was a lot of underlying reasons for that fight, but the inter-service rivalry was fantastically done.
right.
They were quick to fire for incompetence in this society. Like, you fuck up, you're gone, dude. Like, you get one shot. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
However, promotions.
They're also really quick to promote, apparently.
Because everyone's getting killed.
Apparently, if your corporal dies, you just have to stand next to the lieutenant and you get promoted.
And PH went from like LT to Colonel.
Yeah,
like in 6 days.
I think the whole thing is meant to be like a couple of years.
Yeah, I think
of
it was
time.
supposed to be, but it
Not really.
It doesn't really show
in
it,
the
though.
battlefield back in the day. That was kind of how shit
battlefield
worked.
promotions. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were battlefield commissions.
LT to
How long did it take for him to
Uber,
promote
Colonel,
Lipton
come on.
in Band of Brothers, man?
Yeah, dude. Years. Not years.
Well, not years, but it took months.
Yeah.
There's not very many memorable lines in this movie, so there was one that I found from boot camp that just kind of sticks with me. When they're doing knife throwing, which I love that they get trained to throw knives. I'm like, okay,
Awesome.
I really
Against
don't
this
see the
big bug.
practicality of this at all. And Jake Busey was totally right to point that out.
Jake
But-
Busey. Was that Gary Busey's brother?
It's his kid.
Oh my God, it makes
been
so
like-
much sense now. I was killing myself thinking about it.
Yeah, he's got the same teeth.
So relieved.
Again, Scott's therapist, if you're listening, he's okay.
He's fine. Scott is
just
fine.
saying
Doing
it
all
out.
right.
He's
Yeah.
fine.
That was driving me insane. I was like, he's really all right.
He's got the same teeth and everything,
I
man.
know. So I was like, is this just all right?
Yeah.
No memorable lines though, but there
good.
was
I'm
the
But he did point out at this. He's like, "Sir, I don't understand why we're doing this. You know,
Throws the knife into
in a
his
nuke
hand.
fight, you fire off a nuke, right?
which
And then the drill instructor then throws a knife through the dude's hand and says, "The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand."
Which is also ironic because they're fighting bugs that don't have hands nor buttons.
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could.
Boom.
Let's see.
What else you got?
So towards the end, their final mission that they were on and stuff, I just found it hilarious that the LT just fucking pieces out and just says, "Continue on the mission. I'm gonna go this way with two guys."
Oh yeah.
And do my own
Sounds
fucking
like every
thing.
LT.
Right in the comments, I was like, "Here, I'm gonna let all the boots that they just got reinforced with run the show and just see how they do."
Hey, where's Lieutenant So and So? What the fuck?
Like,
Standard.
I thought, dude, I just thought that was fucking great.
Oh, I was just taking a shit. What happened? You guys? Oh, you won the war. All right.
And and I love that the movie ended on a propaganda film too.
Yes.
Just absolutely fantastic.
All right, so
Capping it off.
had
We'll
some
fight.
interesting
We'll
things.
win.
It had some things that were I love hated this thing.
Yeah, legend has it the Space Force is using it to write their doctrine right now.
Yep.
Fighting the bugs.
Yeah.
I mean, it had moments that were like, okay, that's accurate as shit. Like there was the scene where the base is getting attacked and overrun, and they're like, I need 3, and then like he calls out for 3. I'm like, okay, that's legit.
Yeah, he literally set up the defensive perimeter like that.
Right. They got the drunk getting tattoos
Yep.
right before
Yep.
deploying.
Very true. Yeah.
You know, especially infantry. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And on deployment too. Even though we weren't supposed to.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
so
but-
there's parts there. I mean,
Rebel.
I enjoy the shower scene like everybody else.
Oh,
That's
the shower
actually
scene
the only
is
thing I
fantastic,
remember because the first time I watched this movie was in high school, and it's been 20 years since I've seen.
Yeah,
that
it was
thing.
the hot thing for a minute in high
That's
school.
what I
And,
thought the army was like. That's why I joined.
Yeah, same.
Is this how we
communal
shower?
showers? Fuck yeah,
I'm
let's
like,
do
okay,
this.
cool.
It actually threw my wife for a loop because she was watching it with me just so I can brush up on it. I guess she's like, "Wait, you guys get to shower together?" I'm like, "No,
You should
no,
have
we
played
don't."
it off.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah, I could see your wife totally like cutting off your member if that was a thing, man.
Right?
Remember.
Your member.
I heard there was a woman who I think in Thailand who just chopped off her husband's dick because she thought he was cheating on her and flushed it down the toilet.
Oh, that's some Lorena
So
Bobbitt shit
Sounds like
right
a
there,
Monday
man.
in
But
Thailand.
flushed
Left
it down the
field,
toilet.
Scotty. I
Bobbitt
love it.
got. They found
Technically not left,
Bobbitt's
it's still there,
dick.
but okay.
He was a
but
Marine.
You flush that shit down.
I mean, you're on some part of the topic.
I don't know how you're gonna find that. I just don't know how you're gonna replace it. You're gonna have to grow another dick on your arm. How they grow ears and shit, you know. Oh,
It's that episode of
Okay.
South Park.
I don't know.
I got a lot to think about here.
Mr. Garrison went through the sex change and he decided to go back, and then they were growing the penis on a mouse.
Okay,
and it was
right,
like,
yeah.
There is like a guy who has a dick on his arm. I forget that he's growing.
I'm looking
I'm
at
gonna
Pete
pull
over
it
there.
up.
Pete's
Like,
what the fuck is going on?
Where are we at now?
Back to the movie really quick.
Why is the prosthetic
what's going
smaller
on.
than my original dick size?
Sammy's lost his shit over there. All right, let's gain our composure here. And then, all right, well, let's get into rankings here. So, Sam, since you went off on that rant there, you gave it. All right, fuck you, Sam. We're gonna go over to Pete.
I'm trying, man.
Pete, you gave it a
3.5 Hooahs.
3.5 Hooahs.
I mean,
Okay.
you know what? If you approach it as a sci-fi fic and not as like anything military related or whatever else, okay, I'll give it to you. But you know, if we're using the same standards that we did, like military tactics and uniforms, all that other stuff, it's sorely lacking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Clearly had its good moments, but enjoyable movie, but not one that hey, I'm gonna watch all the time. So 3.5 Hooahs.
3.5.
from me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Scott, you gave it
2.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
I liked it. It was a fun movie to watch, but it wasn't too entrenched in it. I wasn't really locked
You like a
into
little more
it.
serious shit.
It was like it was fun, but at some point it just reminded me of those 80s type, I don't know, 80 mushy type of. I don't know. It's hard to
You can't
explain.
change your rank, by the way.
But if it was anything about
It's
regrowing
hard.
dicks on your forearm, he'd
Well,
be all for it.
Are you trying to
I
make
just
me
was
lose my
upset
shit
that
again?
she flushed
throwing
it down the
dicks in the
toilet. I mean, that is fucked up.
That's just throwing salt on the wood.
Oh my god. All right. Anyway, so
Oh.
2.5.
2.5. And Sam, you did the same.
I did 2.5 as well. The lack of tactics, lack of any kind of accuracy, although it is the future, so who the fuck knows? I was gonna give it 2 stars, but then I remembered that shower scene, so it definitely got
I would
upgraded.
think it
That was worth a whole.
Yeah, I would say a
star.
whole
Don't-
star on that one, or whole
Hooah.
hoorah on that one, right?
I am a very, very judgmental person when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah, you
so.
are. You
Um,
are.
Yeah, so I gave it 2.5 for that. Also, some of the campy ass lines and things like that.
You
Like
would've
it
liked
could be a satire and doesn't have to be campy.
But just
Paul.
because you have like Bob's and Vagine, does that really bump it up one whole
For me, it
hooah
does.
or oorah?
Yes.
I
Dude,
think,
dude, I give basic instinct.
I
like
think I should have
5.
jumped it up one more because of Gary Busey's son being in it and knowing
You
that
should
it
have
was
texted me
him.
about that, dude.
I was dying. I was freaking out. I was like, I know him.
All right.
He's related.
I gave it 3.5. Same reasons as everybody else, but I thought it was pretty good. I mean, sci-fi, I'll bring it down. It's campy. You're right. It takes it down notch.
I think that adds to the movie though.
All right, so because it was the same director that made RoboCop, Total Recall, it was missing some of that stuff.
I get it,
Maybe
I get
it's
it.
because it was the late 90s already and they were trying to get it was missing the 80s flair.
He was kind of
You don't-
phoning it in.
Yeah.
Showgirls wasn't as good as all the
Yeah, he
others
was
either.
phoning
You
it in.
know,
It wasn't exactly what he did before.
You know, if it was like early to mid 80s, I'd bite.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more.
I would go
because it
actually
came
one
from that
higher.
era.
I definitely would have.
But
Yeah.
this
Because
was what,
you're like-
1997, I think,
Yeah.
that this came out? Yeah.
yeah. If this was done at the same time as Total Recall, it definitely would have gotten upgraded for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a timing thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because
maybe
they
it's
were
because,
really
like,
good
I'm not
movie.
trying to say you're only a few years younger than us. All right. I think I just asked this, like,
89.
Okay.
You're 80s.
Yeah, like a lot younger.
Yeah, so-
Whatever.
no, it's fine. It's not.
like 5
Because I think we
years.
grew up. No, but that you missed that slight gap
Right.
of seeing
That half generational
That's,
gap.
that's fair. This is
of
my
s-
childhood here.
Too much oomph,
so,
not
so
enough
you see a
pizzazz.
little bit of what we grew up with more than what you did. So I think that's where it is. It's not a knock of. I'm not ageism doing
Yeah,
shit
no,
like that
no.
at all. Like
Yeah, and also like keep in mind, movies like Saving Private Ryan came out around this same time as well,
right.
and that was just on
Just creates a
in
whole different
such a
tier.
fantastic way.
still a fucking. You know what? Dude,
Watched
3.5,
that last
though. Like
night,
I said, I
dude.
gave it 3.5.
Yeah.
Hey.
and it was fucking.
I just want to point out, I gave you all a 5-star movie in Restrepo, but you didn't bite, so.
Because we didn't
But
want
you gave it-
want to say
We
never-
wanted
four
to
stars.
take
You
a
did.
sad break.
I will
That's
stay
with
all.
Hooahs,
It
four Hooahs.
hurts our
We don't call it
feelies.
stars here. It's Hooahs or
Whatever.
We need to bring Scott up.
Yeah,
a
I
level.
got
was
totally.
We don't say
dropped
that
the
as
ball.
warrant
Touch-
officers.
touch-
We don't say.
Well, you don't have to anymore because you don't have to pretend.
yeah.
What?
You don't have to pretend to like the military anymore. They know
You don't like
you
it.
don't like it. That's why
That's
you
true.
skate off to the golf course every
But
fucking
that's
day.
why I don't say Hooah anymore. It's 'cause
The only time we say is on this show.
Okay,
That's
fair
it.
enough.
I've never said
You
it.
are motivated.
I don't
You
think
are
I-
having a good time.
Well, to be fair,
are
no one ever says "oorah" in the Marine Corps either. It's just
Or rah-brah or some stupid
Rah-brah.
shit.
Yeah,
Rah-rah.
Ridiculous.
although I did have a friend of mine in
be
formation would just say "bark."
All right, so
Speaking
the
of
movie
DMX.
it was shit but good.
Segue into the smoke pit.
Rough Riders for
And
life.
that's what it is. Time. It's time for the smoke pit, gentlemen.
Time for the smoke.
Oh God, can we have a real smoke in here?
Wish. No, my wife would kill me.
Can we pause for a smoke
Nope.
break?
No,
That's not
we
happening.
do not
We're
pause.
just smoke. We don't pause. Have a vape or some shit. Relax.
Fuck you.
Also, your Glock is digging into my knee.
You packing over there?
That's not a Glock in my pocket.
All right,
Oh.
it's smoke pit time. We're gonna do a little banter, a little Q&A. We're gonna talk with the chief here. Gonna ask him some questions, some real
Word.
hard pressing shit. Not really, but
We don't talk about anything hard pressing on
no,
this show.
I mean, we're
Except for that gun that's sticking into my head.
Yeah, that
Talk
is
about
pretty
pressing.
hard. That is some hard pressing right now.
Red Rocket.
Wait. Do you get a red rocket when you become a chief?
well, I don't.
Let's
Like,
get
does
to the
he get it or
questions.
does he
I wanna-
give
I
it?
want to
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy, man.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get to the
Shut the mic up.
questions.
All right.
That is a legit question.
So, a few questions. First of all, super jelly of you being warrant officer. I think it's the coolest rank ever to be in the military. So
Agreed.
super awesome. Agreed. All right, you're agreeing with it. Part of one of my questions we're going to ask here. All right, well, what I'm going to get to is what's the process and requirements to becoming a warrant officer? Because that's a few things. It's more of a learning thing too. But I mean, people are interested. I know there's a lot of people that don't always see warrant officers for many
Especially
reasons.
since it's so hard to
And
find one
plus,
to
I
ask.
don't know. I want to learn about it too. I have no.
Yeah.
So, kind of the process. This is going to be the answer that you don't want to hear because it's all dependent on what your job is, and
Right.
it changes every week. When I went through, and I can only speak to when I went through because I don't know the process now. In the past year, everyone's been working remotely, so I haven't had the chance to talk to the new guys and see what they're doing. But for me, they needed 2 of my last OERs or NCOERs at the time, and I needed 2 letters of recommendation from 2 different warrants.
NCOERs are, for everyone else that's not military listening.
Basically our evaluation reports
Mhm.
for our job. So going through that, once you go through basically a selection process, and once you're selected, you become a warrant officer candidate.
Well,
So did you actually know the warrants that gave you a letter of recommendation, or just be like, "Hey, I want to get in your club"?
Well, actually, so funny thing is, the one warrant officer who wrote my letter of recommendation I ended up taking his slot once he retired. So
Oh.
it kind of worked out pretty cool.
That's great.
I did not know him before, but he worked in the same area that I was at, so it worked out
So
pretty
it's
well.
basically like him finding his replacement.
He did. I don't think he realized it at the time either, but it worked out well.
what is the the way like it's the start time of like applying to be going in there into before you actually get into
I'm sure it's like any other packet, right?
Yeah, so
I
it
thought
all
it was a
depends
little
on
bit more to it,
how
though.
long it takes you to get your packet done because you used to need a photo, DA photo. I don't know if they require that anymore.
I think they got rid of that for everything now.
Yeah, it sounds like there
Right.
was whatever reason they got rid of it.
Discrimination
Yeah,
issues,
discrimination
probably.
issues is what
Yeah,
they're
well,
kinda
it makes
claiming.
sense. Like, all right, look at this guy.
Yeah,
like, we'll take him, not him.
but yeah, so there was that, and then there's basically packet health evaluations, all sorts of any standard thing you're applying to do anything.
Okay.
Did you have to like turn
Um,
your head and cough for the health evaluations?
Isn't that for every health evaluation?
That's always.
Yeah, fair enough.
in there, man.
You're
God,
in.
Here,
get
there
the
we go.
program.
Was
Tom.
it done in a back alley like my last one was?
All right, enough of you. Some serious shit here.
Eat your crayons.
That is serious.
Yeah, so the packet to completion was about 6 months for me to get selected, and then after I got selected, I had to wait for a school date, which I'm sure we'll go into that.
Okay, which we're gonna get into schooling right now. The warrant officer candidate schooling, which is a big thing. Like, I'm over here like applying myself here. I'm like just asking what's going on. What was it like there? Give me the whole spiel. Like,
Are you applying?
I actually want to. Yeah.
Okay, the schooling was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah,
It was
this is what I
basic
thought- I've
training
heard.
times like. So here's the thing: it's like basic training all over again. The only problem is by the time you go through warrant officer candidate school, you know right from wrong. The only problem is they try to act like what you're doing isn't right, and no matter what you do, they try to get into your head, and it works because you get pissed off. You're like, "This is the dumbest stuff ever." So it's not really
Because you've already been in for.
you've been in, so you know what they're doing. You know
Yeah.
to break you down to build you up. You know the
Right.
tactics. You know everything
Yeah.
else. You're watching them do it too, and you're like, "Stop it, please."
It's like I've been.
Been
This is
there,
a Hooah
been there,
free
done
zone.
that.
And
like,
it's funny because you have like drill sergeants and stuff who go warrant, and they're sitting there like, "Oh my god, like this is what I used to do to privates. Why are they trying to do this to
Do
me?
they really
Yeah,
have
no
drill sergeants
kidding.
there?
Do they have
again?
drills or what do
It's
they
it's
have? Just regular
just
instructors?
cadre.
Sergeant.
They're
Okay.
warrant
Warrant
officers who
officers.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh,
cadre.
so it's actually other warrant officers. See, that I like that.
That it's pretty cool.
That's
It's other
kinda
warrants.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like sitting through like safety stand downs and shit like that? Like
No, it was
that
honestly
fucking annoying?
the biggest smoke session. Honestly, it was harder than any other smoke session I did at
Really?
the time. I don't know if they changed it. I'm not gonna spoil any of the fun if you're going through.
Yeah,
No,
don't
no,
spoil
spoil
it.
all of it.
Yeah,
I could
but
Google
it
it.
was
Spoil the fun. I want to hear this.
it was
stuff.
the most physically demanding course that I've done in the Army, and like I did the the aerosol course, pre-course at Fort Bliss. I don't want to talk about that, but that that was definitely like nowhere in comparison to the warrant officer candidate school.
Really?
Yeah, and
Fuck.
it's so
I'm lazy, so this is why I'm.
yeah. I
This
just
is
warning
rough.
you, man. It's
Pull your packet out now, bud.
but then again, it was 100% worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, which kind of really
How
leads
long
us.
is the training?
the training's it was a full month. I cannot
Full month.
comment on it.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Full month. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's not that bad.
You say that.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
I thought it was a little longer. No. I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, I thought it
Yeah,
would be
someone
like
It
goes
just made me
to
feel
SEER
better. That
school.
just made me feel a little bit better.
I
No,
felt
don't
like
get
it
me
would be
wrong.
like boot camp length again.
I
So-
get what it is to be in a tough position for over a month or two. I've been locked up in military prison. Okay, I know what that's like. All right.
Which
Oh,
we
here
really
comes
need to
his
go in
brick
depth
When is-
into
story.
this.
When is that
There
episode
I
coming
was
out?
That's,
selling
we're saving that
cigarettes.
later. We need more viewers.
We
for
need
it.
to put that on a lowered expectation. I think.
That's a lowered
Yes.
expectation. More viewers. No, but I mean, I get the whole 1 month is not that. But I thought it was longer though. But go
So
on.
it is longer for like they do the flights, the high school to flight school
Mhm.
path, and that's I think that's longer. I think that's like 7 months. But if you're a walking warrant, if you don't know the difference between a walking warrant, it's basically any warrant officer who's not a flight warrant, and is kind of the specialty in their designator. The issue with that is they're like 7 or 8 weeks of it, and it's just the same thing over and over again.
same
so
shit.
I would never want to do that.
So you said it was kind of like, it was super tough. It was the worst time of your life, but it was like totally worth it, which kind of gets to the next question is like, is being a warrant officer really as amazing as everybody says?
I think it works for me. I don't think it would work for a lot of people. I don't need to be in charge of people. I don't need to feel important. So it kind of works out for me where I can be very, very good at my job. People come to me advice. I can give them advice, whether they listen to it or not is on them.
But you don't have any people you're in charge of?
I mean,
Small group.
the
like,
way it's traditionally worked for me in my kind of my line is I'm in charge when we go to work. So like if we're working on a product or we're working on anything regarding my job,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the end all say all on that,
Okay,
depending
all
on
right.
where I'm at.
right.
Some real life officers want to take charge and do that, and
Fuck
I
that.
encourage them. No, I encourage that
Because
because
that's what their job is.
I get it.
that's
Yeah,
it. No,
yeah.
like I'm basically I'm a budget officer. I'm a cheap officer that they can use to kind of be very good at my job.
Right.
I don't have to hold
Gotcha.
command, which I never want to do. I don't have to,
Well, I mean, it gives you plenty of time to hit the golf course. Midday.
exactly.
Like,
PT for a warrant officer is on a golf course.
Also, when you guys go on coffee runs, does it really take the whole day, or
Okay. For number one, we're generally at drill. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where the coffee station is.
I'm just curious because that's where my warrant officer was most of the time I was in.
Was his hat on the desk?
Huh?
Was his hat on his desk?
Usually, yeah.
Then he was somewhere in the building.
Well, isn't
Yeah.
that the thing that don't you
I
have like
thought you
5
guys-
hats we
yeah,
just throw
don't you
out?
guys
No,
just, like,
that's not a real thing.
Okay.
Never
Also-
happened.
Again, we don't for OPSEC reasons. We
Also-
don't give out TTPs for warrant officers.
Also,
Yeah.
our covers don't have ranks on them, so we just assumed it was because it was sitting on his desk.
Then he was there.
All right, fair. Chief
ask
Warrant
questions.
Officer Marshall, still love you, bud.
Man. All right. So, all right, without getting too much detail.
But does it really have the perks? Are you really able to sham away as much as
No, I'm not. So yes and no. We are afforded some
latitude?
lateral. Yeah, so we can do some stuff, but I've worked harder as a warrant officer than I ever did as enlisted. I mean, I'm not out there setting up tents in the middle of a motor pool, but I am definitely humping. when
Well,
I
you're
get into
expected
work.
to be
Yeah.
the specialist
your
of your
shit.
trade.
It's
right?
it's different. They know what they have, so like rather than a private who's brand new, might be a great intel private, might be the best intel private like I was ever to come through. I'm
the
just
best, huh?
the
Just
best.
get your nipples
kidding.
a little bit.
Yeah,
The best.
It's like
that.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Going
But-
back to when you were enlisted, huh? See, you had a little more fun when you had a
You
chevrons on
definitely have more fun as enlisted, but you're not.
I mean, you're not having fun?
I have fun with everything I do.
So
Okay.
I got kind of a question about that. I know in the Marine Corps when we have like warrant officers, like especially in my job field, like a warrant officer would encompass multiple MOSs. So it wasn't uncommon for us to have a warrant officer that was like a former LAV mechanic or a former AAV mechanic or a former tank mechanic running a shop that has all three. Is it kind of similar for you guys?
I think that's kind of like in the logistics areas, right?
Yeah, so certain warrant officer branches, like they don't have feeder MOSs for each of them, so sometimes they can go up into one, but a lot of times they'll only afford one warrant officer per like maintenance shop. Maintenance is big into this. So if you're like a light vehicle mechanic or whatever, you might be in charge of, I don't know how it works. I don't know anything about mechanics, but if you're a light vehicle mechanic, you might also be in charge of the heavy armored mechanics in the same shop.
Word. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I got another question for you. So you deployed as intel,
Yes.
right? Was being a fobbit fun, or did you get outside the wire at any point?
So I deployed twice. Once as a, what was I,
What an
E45. I think I got promoted downrange. I got to go outside the wire. I was in Afghanistan. Afghanistan fucking sucks. I never want to go back there.
I mean,
But
the
like,
people think it's
The
it fucking
hills and
sucks.
shit worry me. I was deployed to Iraq 3 times, but the idea of going to Afghanistan seemed more like humping and fucking
Horrible shit.
I mean, I just saw
guarding
the
opiate fields and
yeah, I just saw the outpost, and that just terrified the fuck out
right
of me.
in the valley,
Afghanistan.
have a fucking outpost
Yeah.
with mountains all around you. Fuck that
yeah,
shit.
fuck that shit.
Where were you at in Afghanistan?
I was on RC East at Fob Shank, which is known as Rocket City. And to answer your question, no, I didn't go outside of the wire when I was, but we got cabs for IDF that hit us.
Oh,
Aw.
that's nice.
One of the
There you go.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think I slept through my cab.
At least you can admit it.
It's funny because
Well.
like we got hit all the time. Like, and
Yeah.
they were always near us, so it was never like a big thing. But the one I was awarded for, I think, was the one that I slept through.
Yeah, in Fallujah, it was like that. I slept through most of that shit. Like about month 2, I think they actually stopped waking us up to go into like the shelters and stuff like that. It's just like, if it hits, it hits. You know, whatever. You know,
You skipped ahead a little bit, but I wanted to ask him a little bit more on.
I didn't really skip ahead of him.
Well, okay.
I'm following the bullet points.
Without getting into too much detail, can you tell us what Intel Chief Warrant Officer actually does, though?
So it's all the intel world is really big. So usually I'm going to be in charge of an ACE or any type of intelligence shop.
Mhm.
That's generally what it is. And generally when it is, there'll be an officer in charge, and then there'll be the chief. And the chief handles everything intel related, doing all the reviews of products.
So you're more like a quality check, right? Before it goes
At
to the
times,
whole-
there's times like when I deployed, I was doing more product generation, and then I did some quality check. It all depends on where you're at.
Can you
Okay.
explain what product is, though? And you say
without
product-
violating
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of the
I mean,
OPSEC
because
order.
right now
Yeah.
you sound like you work in a retail shop.
So product is any type of intelligence that comes through that we present to hire or that we push out. So think of us as like a news channel. Like we're pushing out the news on information that comes
Right.
through.
You're basically like sifting through stories to find like the most valid and like accurate.
Yeah, and trying to paint a
Information.
picture to the commander as to what's really going on the ground.
Right, because they need to make their 3 o'clock tea time because you guys took the noon one.
Well, you should have got on it earlier.
Go fucking actually do my job, guys.
Sorry, I'm gonna run with this like golf
I don't
thing.
even golf. You even golf?
I golf.
All right, yeah.
Of course.
I was thinking
It's
the shirt.
funny.
a
Wait,
little
is
bit,
that
and I was
that
like-
why the school is so
And the
hard?
shirt's
Because
so
they have to
soft,
teach
too.
you the
Have
game
felt
and
this?
you have.
Make him feel
Oh my
uncomfortable for a second.
God.
Isn't it nice?
Oh my god,
I got
this
this
is
from a-
beautiful. What is
I
this?
got this from a
velvet?
company that I'm not going to mention on air because they need to sponsor you. So
Okay.
Oh.
I like it.
What was he wearing?
Talk to me offline.
What's he wearing right
something
there?
Very soft.
Very soft polo shirt, dude.
All right, I'm getting a name after this.
Oh yeah, totally.
Very
Well, you got to
nice.
stroke it
It's a-
once you
it's
get
a
out of the
subscription.
combat closet.
Obviously, gotta stroke it.
All right, so that first deployment, because we don't want to talk about later stuff that you've been into, OPSEC wise and all that shit.
Yeah, gotta be careful about that.
So Afghanistan, we mentioned where you were, all that shit. How long was that deployment for you?
that was 10 or 11 months.
One of those fun long ones.
Where'd you mob
See?
out of? Or
Fort Bliss. I was active duty for that one. 1st Armor Division.
okay,
Oh,
So
word.
yeah. So
Hey,
you're-
my
that's
people.
what I want to get to. So you were
that's where my old man was.
kind of forgot about that.
Fort Bliss.
Hey, I was seeing that patch on you. I was like, oh yeah, wait. I thought you were
Yeah.
something else before your intel. So, but that's what made sense. So you first Armor Division out of Bliss, and then you went over there, and then you. Well, how long were you there for?
4 years. Did my entire tour there.
Okay, and then went reserves.
Yep.
That's where I met you.
Yeah.
On
Our
the-
Charge I Need 5
on
coming to
this-
get you.
on the-
Straighten up the reserves, make everything
Yeah,
work.
Fucking hardcore badass.
That didn't work out.
I
too well for me.
remember. So yeah, I was telling the boys. I think Pete knows this too, but I was definitely telling Sam this. So I remember your first day at. What is going on over here? Just say I go to the bathroom.
Tunnel rat.
Anyway,
He did a good job staying on
He
camera.
did,
I was
he did.
impressed.
Right?
he's probably gonna piss his brains.
Dude, that's infantry for you, man.
Yeah, a little crunchies.
Low
Anyway,
crawl.
so his first.
Not all the wiring.
Anyway, I remember you coming in, your first drill.
Oh God.
It was fun though. I mean, we just talked about this right before too, but I want the listeners and viewers know this one.
He told me this story last week, and I was dying out in the smoke
So
pit.
we had,
the literal smoke pit.
one of my bros too, which I'm not gonna say their names, but these were reservists that came in from Milwaukee. I remember they're a little late for formation. This is you actually were heading up.
Oh, I don't know what story you're going into. This was not my first drill either.
I swear I thought
That was his last drill.
It was his last, but I thought it was
Yes.
your first drill.
No,
wasn't
no.
it?
No, and I really liked him as a person, but like the issue with that was I told him the day before, like, dude, you like I got reamed out, and how I went about it then I would have went about it different now, and I will take full credit for that. But I literally told him the day before, like, please, like, if you're gonna be late, just let me know.
So he was late for formation.
Yeah, and it
I'm
wasn't like he
looking
was
over.
short late. It was like a
Right
half
in the
hour.
middle,
Yeah.
like in formation,
Yeah.
like rolls in late. I remember. So right after formation, you take both of them.
No, that was in formation.
Oh.
You don't remember that?
I'm trying to. Dude,
I put
this
them in the
is-
front lean and rest during formation.
No,
and
you
he's
put-
like, fuck
right.
that.
Right. One of them went right away though.
Yeah.
One who went down.
That's
and the other
push-ups
one,
for those of you who don't know.
and the other one who I knew was his last drill.
Yeah.
And he just crosses his arms and goes, nah, fuck that, dude. I need this shit. and you're like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting there being like, oh, this is going to get spicy.
Wait, can we get this guy on? He's my POG Pro right now.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I don't even want to say any names at all, but I thought that was hilarious. But I thought that was one of your first. Maybe it was.
It was one of my
first.
first. I don't think it was my
Okay.
first.
Because I think I remember having a conversation with you around that time. If not your first or around that time. Maybe that's
it was
why.
further down, I think.
Maybe that's what it was. Because you came in straight off active.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, you're behind.
But I think that's like how
okay. It's not
how
your
it was every time with the chief, because even when I first met him, my first drill and stuff like that, like he tries to show like being his hard ass or whatever else, and then you get to know him and it's like a soft little puppy on the inside.
Aww. Well,
No.
the problem is I
No.
set an expectation coming through as like this hard charger from active duty, and then all of the leadership expected that from me, and I'm like, oh, motherfucker.
Right.
No,
now I gotta
I'm
work.
not giving you shit. I'm not trying to call you. But I thought it was funny. Because this happens to a lot of guys that come off active.
Oh,
and come in the
it's
reserves.
a common story, and I have to like whenever I talk to people who are coming off active duty, I have to kind of give them like the pre-brief. I wish somebody
Yeah.
had given me the pre-brief. Like, look,
I wish I was there to give you that. I gave it to you a little bit afterwards.
It's-
Yeah,
I
'cause
was
you were
like,
in
It sounds to
Germany.
me like leadership
yeah.
wants you to
That's
be
what I-
the
yeah,
active duty
'cause that
hard
was-
charger,
is
and
that what it was?
everyone else
That's
doesn't.
what happened. I got
Yeah.
back in. And
A
that's
little
when we
bit there,
met.
Sam.
That's why I was like, oh, who the fuck is this asshole? like, where's. What happened to the last
and
asshole?
then so it's funny because I came off of active duty and then I failed my PT test. It was right around when you came back. My first PT test, only PT test I've ever failed. Later in my
Fucking
experience there,
shitbird.
I realized
dare
that they
you.
made me run 2.5 miles because
Oh,
the person who
2.5
didn't do
miles.
it. Well, in the time frame, I wasn't going to make it. And I was in my
Right.
best shape of my life because I'm coming off active duty, so like I knew how to run 2 miles, and I was like, this fucking is
What
ridiculous.
is the time
Why is this-
limit for
what is
that?
this?
It's all age-based.
It's age-based.
Age
on
based.
that.
I think it was like 1630.
Something
back
back then,
I don't know.
depending on-
I don't
yeah.
know.
And they're like, "Where's this active duty shitbag?"
By the way, also
it
where
failed
you're
his
doing
run.
it too. It's not like so on a reserve side, like specifically our unit that we were in. It wasn't even on a track or on a normal course. It was like this fucking 2 mile
Bike path.
uphill
So-
bike
Yeah.
path that goes
It-
like this and that. That's not
I know.
like you're steeping up. It's
so I've been told.
not a flat course.
I've been told this in the Marine Corps that they adjust the length of the course
No.
to a well for us. They adjust the length of the course based on terrain. They try to pick like the
They
flattest
said
one.
this. I've heard this in the army too, though.
Yeah,
I've heard this.
But I've also been
Never
told
seen it done.
yeah,
I've also been told though they also adjust it for altitude. Not that we have to deal with too much altitude here, but I mean like I've heard stories.
Pendleton.
There are postings in like Pendleton, but there are postings in Japan for us that are actually in the mountains where you're at a higher altitude and stuff.
Same thing as Fort Carson. I know a lot of
Right,
guys
and
that
I
went
was
to
there at Fort Carson, and there's definitely no adjustment. I mean, there's like a 30-day
They're
like
supposed to give-
acclimation
yeah.
period.
Yeah, 30 days
Yeah.
plus.
They never give it to you,
yeah.
especially when you're
No.
in school.
Well, and I do know. Well, they
that's
might
cool,
not
but
be
guys
able
that
to in
actually-
school, actually,
that
to be
are
fair.
with them.
But I do know, like in the Marine Corps, they said that like we have to do 3 miles, and it's yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Marine Corps when you 3 miles.
Fuck off, yeah.
It really worked out for you afterwards. Huh? You stopped doing any miles.
Yeah, I did.
Negative miles. over
I
there.
did, but being being a fat fuck in the Marine Corps, I was still under my time limit.
You
all
were
the
pretty
time.
good, though. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah.
18 minutes right here for
Yeah.
my 3 mile.
That's actually
never ever
awesome.
again.
Wow.
Never again.
Pretty
do
good.
that at 2
That
miles.
will
Also,
go
that's
away.
2 miles.
Scotty, for a guy like you, man, like
Like, that's my 2 miler
you've
shit.
stayed
I hate my-
pretty
I'm
much
so bad.
like you slimmed down a lot when you were in, but like when you got out, you went kind of back to the way I remember you beforehand.
Yeah.
But like 3 miles for you, man, was probably just like in 18 minutes, probably pretty epic. So
I mean,
I know,
like
but
my
after
only
a
good.
while, I would be able to go through it. But yeah,
Right.
then I had to run a 5K like recently, and I never ran since the core. And I think I ran a 5K in like 30 minutes, and I was proud because I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck,
I
you
hate
know."
running.
The
I
only
was
good
running.
running story I have is actually when I was in a schoolhouse and they promised that we'd be able to order pizza if we ran. Listen, if we were able to run the 5 miles to Ranger Standard, which is 40 minutes, my fat self came in at 39:59.
look at that.
One
That's
second
just
of
what they
sprint.
told you because they wanted pizza.
Oh,
Saved everybody.
and you know what?
Yeah.
And I had like 4 slices of Domino's and some fucking Cinesticks.
Look at this guy. He's excited.
So you didn't really have real pizza.
Hey, for that,
You'll
it
take,
was
come on,
pizza.
you know you.
Tell this
come on.
glorious.
Hey, I got a
story,
Domino's
and now
across
you
from my
just-
apartment. I have no shame. I've gotten one of their hot and readies.
It's been a while since I had
They got
Little
some- don't they
Caesars.
got, like-
Caesars. Yeah,
don't-
Caesars
yeah,
hot and ready,
yeah.
son.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that
Domino's does it
especially
too.
when you were deprived for like how many weeks,
Yeah.
not having anything.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
And my fat little self.
I kind of got lost what we were talking about here. Oh, a
You're
little
not
bit.
that
Yeah,
fat.
when you first came in here, the whole
you're
chill out
cuddly.
thing. Well, you did though. You chilled out pretty well, real quick. You adjusted, you adapted, you overcame. You
Made some really amazing memories along the way. At least,
yeah, we had,
we had
a
a
great
great
time serving with you. We went on a few different little FTXs. All
We
over
don't
the
talk
place.
about those.
No.
No,
I'm
but
not.
we reminisce.
God no, I'm not talking about any of that shit. That is something
Yeah.
we'll talk in the garage.
Here,
afterwards.
let me tell. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
It was. No, there was some.
You
shit.
missed a killer Simpsons reference right there, and I'm
It
really
was the
disappointed
best
in.
of times. It
I
was
said-
the worst of times. Damn you, monkeys.
You guys and anyway,
It's a classic show.
fucking core over here.
Yeah.
I am
Anyway.
gonna spam the group thread with Simpsons memes now.
Army
You
time
are
now?
correct.
Oh, you should check out today's because I put a really wonderful Marine Corps meme up on the page.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Was that Semper Derp or whatever?
No,
Was that
th-
the
this-
step sergeant one?
yeah,
Right?
the Step Sergeant.
Oh god, that was good.
God, you
What are
need
you
to,
doing, step sergeant?
you need to text these to me because I don't go on Facebook.
Well,
Oh.
you should get on there.
Now you need to, man.
I don't
Support our
want to.
page.
Yeah, support the page.
Get
I do support
Twitter.
the page.
I'm on
On the show.
Twitter.
You're
Why
literally
can't
on-
we do
He doesn't
Twitter?
even like the
We're actually
page.
on Twitter. We're just started out with that. We
All right.
just don't have a handle figured out yet.
Some
so
of
I'm
that-
not even
some of
gonna-
that.
What's
I'm
the
not-
other one?
What's your
Instagrams and
talk
TikToks.
TikTok. and what?
Tick, tick.
Instagram.
TikToks.
We're doing the Chinese version.
Are you doing Instagram too?
I think TikTok
Oh, yeah.
is the Chinese version.
Yeah, it already is.
What's Edie's on the Instagram?
Oh no, I'm not doing TikTok. They're the ones that take your information, right?
Well,
we don't
Welcome
have
to
information.
all
to
social
Twitter.
media.
I think
Like they
everybody
don't
has-
already have.
They
Yeah.
might sponsor us next.
Everyone's got our
So
information.
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook.
Roger.
All right.
And
We're on all-
Semper.
Wait, is Roger a new one?
What? Are we closing out the show here? Jesus Christ!
No,
I got a couple
I'm
more
just
questions
making
for the
sure.
Chief. We're doing like
No,
all our
I'm
final
just
fucking.
freaking
lines here.
reiterating.
I appreciate that.
Gotta remind
Mid rolls. Okay.
Mid rolls. Okay.
Even though we're towards the ends. Oh, I swear to God, the fucking phone goes off.
I
one more
was
time.
gonna write down the fucking.
I said no.
Oh my
God.
God.
Damn. What I pre-check
Speaking of
today-
MMA, can we get a match going in here?
Yeah,
that would
it's
be
gonna
fun.
happen because there's a pre-check was no.
As long as
fucking-
it's
I
on the
turn
desk.
the phone off. I turn it back on so I can write
yeah.
down the
You
stupid
didn't have
ass
to turn
fucking.
it off. I just said put it on silent.
Hey.
Don't forget the chief is a no belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
What you do? Yeah, did some MMA.
I'm
reading
your
your
bio.
bio. Yeah.
I got excited because Chief had put like some MMA in his jiu-jitsu. Sorry, he didn't want to say MMA in his bio. I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna ask some questions about this. Like, yeah, I just did like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he put it in his bio, and I read
Like
it.
6 months.
He put it in his bio. I read it, and I
I'm
just
not
literally
gonna knock
thought,
6
I'm like,
months.
this isn't the Joe Rogan
bio was
podcast.
from,
We're
like,
not going to sit
ages
here and
ago.
talk about this for an hour.
Well, MMA show. I mean, why not?
We're not copying him at all. I swear.
Not one
Sorry,
bit.
I'm-
No, no. Have us on, Joe.
I swear to God, I didn't buy the same microphones or boom stands that you have and soundboards.
Oh my
or didn't go to like the Jerry's. Like,
We're not trying to poach
what
Jamie.
sound equipment do you? Yeah, I can't afford that shit. Jesus
Wipe your
Christ.
chin.
Wait. Mine or him?
You.
Me?
Like, oh, Joe Rogan.
yeah, I did do a
know,
little
dude.
Jerry
Enough
stuff
of
going
it.
on. A lot of jizzing on him.
We didn't talk about DMT for 15, 20, 30 minutes.
Okay. All right. So one last Chief Warrant Officer question. Do you plan on making the unicorn rank?
I do. I'm gonna stand until they kick me out.
Fuck yeah, you're gonna go 5.
I'm gonna,
There you
Fuck
go.
yes.
I just want
You
to.
must leave.
I'll retire in 2 years after that to make the pay, but I just want to be a unicorn.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
just get it.
I mean-
would you want to go any cross over to the O side after that?
I don't know why.
Well, no,
I
he'll reach like
I
terminal.
love
H
hearing
by
him
then.
say he
There's
wants
real
to be a
responsibilities
unicorn,
on the old side.
and I'm just picturing him walking away with a unicorn outfit, driving out. Like, and be like, oh, a unicorn.
I'll do it.
I know it's
Oh,
going to
weird
take a
thought.
while to get to that.
Can we make like the horn on the unicorn outfit like a dildo?
Sure, whatever floats
Leave it
your
to the
I don't know.
Right.
I just kind of imagine that, and that just being even funnier.
whatever you want?
And it's
Oh,
got to
really?
be rainbow color,
Okay,
glitter,
fair enough.
lots of glitter.
What works?
My
right.
daughter
I
loves
know,
glitter.
How long would it take to get 5? What do you think? You got
It'll be at the tail end of my career. I made Warrant pretty early in my career, so there's a good chance that I could do it if I don't
fuck yeah.
screw up. But
I'm excited for you for it.
I-
Like, I'm just like I want to see it.
Yeah.
I just want to see it when I'm walking.
I'm pretty good at my job, so
Yeah.
I have that going for
I
me.
got excited when you had your just. a
I
little
met-
bit.
I was
Walk.
excited
Even when
when-
you had the walk. I was like, oh look at this motherfucker! It says walk on him. That's Warrant Officer candidate on. That's the rank he had to wear.
Which is funny because I don't know like why we wear that in the
I did
reserves
so
early.
weird,
It was like okay,
like I'm a Warrant Officer candidate.
yeah. It was. We had that unit administrator. I was gonna say a name. We had that unit administrator. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, you have to wear that. Brr. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Oh,
Ricky-
Ricky
Ricky
Bobby.
Bobby.
Is he
Ricky
good?
Bobby.
Ricky
All
Bobby.
the shit you want about that asshole.
And his Barney
my
truck.
God. That could be an entire episode just on him, so I'm not gonna get into that.
That's
Crusty.
a good idea
old-
though. Thank you for that. I got a whole.
Turn in your shots. I turned them at you yesterday. What are you talking about?
Oh, fucking admin.
Oh, this guy civilian
No.
side too.
Civilian
even
side, like
worse.
retired E7, just
Yeah.
like hated life and hated everybody.
I had to get back paid 3 fucking months when I got promoted to corporal because they were 3 fucking months in late and were promoting me. I had to get
S1, bro. S1 is.
No-
No knocking S1. Love POG Pros out there.
it's all right.
but-
I just got like
But a
6
little
months
bit.
worth of language
but
payback paid.
it was right around the time of like the Marine Corps ball, so I had already gotten like the blood stripe put on my uniform. I already got the corporal chevrons put on my uniform, and it was like a week before. It was like because it's around the 10th, and it was the 1st of November when promotions come out.
Counting that money. You'd already spent that money. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'd already spent that money, and then when
Right.
promotions came out, and I didn't get promoted on the 1st of November, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and then I had to go back and get the blood stripe taken off my fucking uniform, get my fucking corporal chevrons pulled off
Why
because
you
I
don't
had.
count your chickens before the hat.
No, I was told by my platoon commander that it was going through.
Count your chickens.
I would have just
before
not showed up in fucking civilians, been like, oh well.
Yeah, except for the fact that year I was going to 3 different units balls because it was the year my cousin
There's
died.
a joke there.
It was the yeah, I know.
There's a few.
But it was the year my cousin died, so his unit, his lieutenant paid for me to go to his unit, which was in Vegas. I went to First Tanks' ball that year because I spent almost the whole year with First Tanks, and then I had to go to my unit's ball, even though I didn't know anybody in my fucking unit anymore.
You had to go to the ball.
Yeah, it was mandatory.
I never went to the
Marines in
ball.
balls.
It was.
Remember the ball we went to?
Yeah, and when I went to my units,
Oh god.
when I went to the
on this stripe, bro.
when I went to the ball for my
That was a great
unit,
one.
I had to have a sergeant watching me the whole time so that I didn't get drunk and cause a scene like I did the year before.
Oh God, that sounds like a fun gig for the.
We pissed off a lot of
fucking
sergeant majors at the last one we went to.
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was not fun.
You had?
My suit is still. I still don't have a button on
Oh,
it.
you're talking about that one.
What was the other one before that?
the one
Oh,
at
wait.
Fort
I might not
Jackson,
have been
eh?
the other one.
You didn't go to the Jackson one? Oh, you weren't there for Jackson. I'm
I
sorry.
think I don't know. I've been to a lot.
But the
of
Quantico one, though.
Quantico.
Yes. That's why you're so sour about that one.
Yeah.
That's with the sergeant major. of the
balls
Army.
are bullshit.
When they're doing all the toasts, and who was it? The former S2
don't-
NCO, who's all like,
we don't talk about
"What
it.
is this, a drinking game?"
Oh, that one. No, that's a different. That's a different ball too.
Oh,
Now we're getting mixed up with all our fun little dress up parties we go to.
that's right.
So yeah, if you're not in the military, we like to dress up
A
and
lot.
go to balls.
Well, we have these expensive
We
ass
wear nice
uniforms
little
we need to wear
medals.
at
it's some
least
Disney
once.
shit. I'll tell you. It's
Speaking
pretty
of
Disney.
uniforms,
It's
new
It's
Army.
magically.
It's
yeah.
Disney shit's the best thing
Those
I've
look
heard right
awesome,
there.
and they're sold out on.
Oh, then you.
Marlin.
Then you.
Oh, you're talking about pinks and greens?
pinks
Yeah,
and
I'm
greens.
excited. Just gonna
I'm,
say.
I'm stoked.
You guys are finally getting a quality uniform.
All right.
Our
Right.
greens
And-
were awesome.
And it only
It's not
took you.
finally. We had it before. We
Yeah.
should bring it back.
It only took you
bring it
80
back.
years to bring it back.
Wait,
Dude, we like to change shit up. You guys are just
Yeah,
old school.
Army
just keep
greens.
Everything's.
We like to keep money in our bank accounts.
That's true. I'll give you.
Well, what little money you
Air
have.
Force was
I'd rather
getting
drink
new
beer.
ones.
But we like to
I
mix
didn't
it up.
know.
That's why you don't have air conditioning in tanks.
You know, we date a we date a real hot chick.
You know what? This is a fucking sour subject for me. All right.
Just saying.
So like, yeah, where you change it up. We date a real hot chick, and then we go to like this nasty, like, and then we go back to another hot chick, and then we go to, we just keep going back. And
Yeah,
forward.
we just like to
A
stick with the
smart
hot
one,
chick.
a dumb one. Yeah, you get the hot dumb one. the whole
Yeah,
time.
but definitely with our new
I
uniforms.
wouldn't say
man.
all the time. Some of them have been
Your
smart.
guys' blues are definitely falling by the wayside as panty droppers.
What?
No, no,
those pink
no.
and greens,
I'm not
big.
getting into this
Especially-
conversation.
We haven't
Especially with
changed
our
our
dress
dress
blues
uniform
are-
in 200 years. All right.
Still don't have the money
Telling
for
you
it.
that you
all
want,
about
once we
right
start
there.
canting that
Yes.
hat a little bit, that cover cants a little bit.
That's
oh,
right.
It's over. It's over. It's gonna be World War II all over again.
No, it won't.
You guys would be in the Pacific, fucking needing our help.
Are you kidding me? We were slaying
We
ass
didn't
once we
need
got.
your help.
You
We
were
didn't-
getting slayed. That's why you were there. That's why we,
We
came back
took
you
the
up.
islands, and you people had to hold them. That's
Yeah.
the job.
Wait, we loosened it up for you. Let's just say the army was there first, and we got it ready for you.
Oh yeah,
did.
totally.
Wait, who was in charge of?
Who
was
lost
there?
the Philippines?
Who was there at Guadalcanal first?
Okay, who was in charge of? By the way, who was actually
MacArthur?
Exactly, and he was the general of what?
The army.
Okay.
Oh, like
Fair
that
enough.
answers it all right
Speaking of-
there.
Good enough. That's all.
He
we need.
made
That's
us
all I need.
invade an island for no
Yeah,
fucking
was that
reason because he
Peleliu?
said he was. Yeah,
Was it
Peleliu.
Peleliu?
We didn't
could've
even need
dodged
it.
You guys are there for a reason.
We are
all right?
frustrated
I
and
love
we
how
are
they're
mad.
yelling. They get
We are mad,
Right.
sir.
Using you.
You guys just
Been
didn't
using
understand
you.
the
Army's
strategic
big-
objective.
Exactly.
There
You
was
guys-
no strategic objective for Peleliu.
Why did you think we took
That
tanks away
you
from
know
you?
of.
Again, we stopped giving you all away the shit.
No,
that you
we
don't need
gave up our tanks.
Yeah.
I'm still fucking sour
Hey,
about that too.
and also, who took MacArthur out there? The Navy. So you want to play semantics and split hairs here?
Hey, but you know what?
fucking
You
go all
can't
over
claim
the
the
board.
Navy
You know what?
when it's beneficial to you and then talk shit all the
They're
other
part.
time.
All right,
We're
you're
part of
gonna-
the
we're
Navy.
not
We're
part of
just
the
the men's
Navy. We
department.
got right.
All right,
Yeah,
time
One
out.
at a time. One at a time.
Okay.
One at a time.
All
One
right.
at a time.
yeah.
Time out.
One at a
Time
time.
out.
Happy.
I feel like
happy
we're getting
thoughts.
some bad blood in the room.
Happy
We're
thoughts.
getting some bad blood
One
in the
at a
room.
time.
It's all right. It's all right. We're just gonna have to knife this out. All right.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
get some-
Not fair. That's a service weapon.
I do have.
Never
my
bring a
brass
knife to a
knuckle-
gunfight.
Brass knuckles.
There's all these
We
weapons,
go
and you
with
grabbed a
that.
knife.
Yeah.
What do they?
Typical Marine, though.
What do they teach you
We do
in,
have
in
the
police
ammo
training?
over there.
10 feet, man. 10 feet.
All right. Banter down. Banter down.
Chief, I need you to put your penis away, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
So massive. I just keep looking at it.
I'm looking at it right now.
I was
It's
just
actually quite
watching-
massive.
It's
No,
so
Boogie-
veiny.
Boogie Nights last
glowing.
night.
I
So.
couldn't find my smaller one.
It's making an imprint.
But back to what I was saying, like,
Oh,
Someone cast a mold.
why did you? He's over here. What?
Did the big one eat the small one?
can we talk about the Chief Warrant Officer 6 rank?
Yeah, Chief Warrant Officer 6 rank, which so your rank system goes up to 5.
Yeah,
One or C, or it's actually doesn't actually start at Chief because it's Warrant Officer
Warrant
1.
Officer 1,
Then it
Chief
goes
Warrant
Chief
Officer
Officer
2,
2,
yeah.
and then all the way up
we
to
technically
5.
don't get our commission until 2
Really?
Oh.
because it's kind of a trial run.
Tryouts.
It's a trial run.
I'm gonna
Yeah, it's
try
trials.
you on. Yeah,
Not as good at it as
That
you.
looks really good on you when I do that.
Oh.
I like that. Sorry for all that. Anyway, but yes, so since 1990, it's been hold up for Warrant
It's been
Officer
like
6.
approved. Yeah.
Yeah, but they haven't done shit with it.
Is there a need for it?
Yes.
'cause I mean,
stop
the-
asking to stop getting the idea out of people's head. We
Yeah,
need it.
like,
Uh,
we need it,
because
we
I
need it, why
mean,
not?
your 5 level is already like a command level chief, right? So
yeah, I think it's. I forget what the equivalent is, but it's definitely I think a general officer equivalent.
So
Um,
next question too. Actually, goes back to all this. I don't know if this is like a rumor because I've never looked this up too much. I
so
tried a
is the
little
6
bit.
like the chief of all warrants?
So
then? If there's
basically,
one?
the
Sure,
army
fuck
has.
Arian's question.
What's
we'll get
above
back
a
to it.
unicorn?
Sure, fuck Aaron.
So I can explain it.
Pegasus.
CW5s.
Pegasus.
Why are you dropping your own name there, bro?
I don't give a fuck.
CW5s in the Army Reserve kind of serve as we have a chief warrant officer of the Army Reserve. I think the 6 rank is going to apply to that if it ever. So there would be like a chief warrant officer of the Army,
So it'd be like, Sergeant Major of the Army, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps,
basically.
that kind of
yeah.
shit. Like that.
Well, it's kind of like how they created another E9 position, which was like sergeant major advisor to like the Joint Chiefs,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, you
Oh
know,
yeah, they did do that. Didn't
right,
they?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they did that to like address like enlisted issues or some shit like that. wasn't
Correct, because it was
Yeah.
going to be because you know how like you have the sergeant major of the army and he's like the
Yeah.
highest NCO for all the army.
it? Right.
Well, when the one army bubba finally got in for Joint Chiefs, they're like, we don't know what the
Yeah.
hell to call you,
Yeah.
so like you can't just be a CSM, So they're like, all right, you're like sergeant major of the Joint Chiefs or some shit. So
I mean, it doesn't matter. You're an E9 no matter what.
Same
Right.
pay.
Yeah. Oh wait, I have more responsibility and I get paid the fucking same. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna stay down here at the battalion level. Then.
So that would make sense if it was like a Warrant Officer 6 would be something like that. Okay, I can understand that.
I get it. Why not? Give him more rank.
Wait, is that gonna be something that's gonna be just Army unique, or is that gonna be like every branch is gonna do that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's
I mean,
probably
I wouldn't imagine that you would specifically.
Are we
know.
ever
It's
going
kind
to
of a
use?
general
They
question.
originally put this
we
out
use
in
the
the
metric
70s.
system. That's
Because that's when the
good
fifth,
thing.
when Chief 5 came out in the
Yeah.
70s, and it was something that got held up in the 90s or 1990. I did the research on this a little bit because I was like, whoa, a 6 has been in holding
This
for
is
over
the
30
first
years.
I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, when you
To be
start
honest.
because I'm going to Google up on some Chief shit.
Well, you
And-
got more free time than I do.
True. Fair enough. But
So I'm
with
jerking
this-
off isn't working.
Yeah.
That's not considered free time. That is a necessary part of my morning constitution.
Essential
What I
work.
wanna- so
Right.
rumor wise, I was trying
Prostate
to
health.
figure this out
Right.
because I've heard this before, but I don't know if it's. I was tried looking it up and I couldn't find anything on it. When you hit a certain chief rank and want to actually cross over to the dark side and the officer side, do you know anything about that? Like where you
So
can,
generally, I don't know a lot of people that cross over.
Why would you want to?
It's the
right?
opposite. A lot of real life officers come over to the warrant officer side either because
Really?
there's 100
you could actually go
They
on.
Demote yourself.
demote themselves.
Really?
Yeah,
That's-
because
I
a lot
would-
of pilots do it because once you make a certain rank as a pilot, you
Yeah.
don't fly anymore. And
Yeah, it's all command.
if you're flying, you're like, I want to fly, so they
Yeah.
become warrant officers.
That
You
makes
see it
sense.
once in a while in walking warrants where either they weren't going to make rank and get put out,
Mhm.
and they come over to the warrant officer side to be a warrant,
Mhm.
and then there's probably other reasons why they do it. But those are the two examples of when I've seen it done.
But so you've never known anybody that crossed over to the other though, because I heard
No.
something about this where if you had like 3 or higher,
Go over as a captain or something.
captain or major,
So,
depending on.
I was
yeah.
just gonna
so,
say
So you
that-
heard it too then? So
Yeah,
like-
it's the problem is they change these regulations so often that could have been a thing like 3 years ago, and now
Right, now
nobody
it's
knows
the-
about it because it's not a thing anymore.
I know during my time, like being part of a maintenance company, we had like a lot of times where like a warrant officer would fill the company commander rank because we didn't have a
Well, yeah.
captain for whatever reason, or they'd be on leave or whatever the case may be. But a lot of the guys that I saw that actually went up to the dark side, they didn't come from anything less than a CWO 3.
Right, which I've seen
Right,
actually,
which leads me to believe that you had to meet that criteria.
But at that point, you're going to be like a 15 years in the service, and you're going to be a captain, which is like just stay warrant because
Right.
a warrant pay is equivalent to like CW4 pay is pretty much equivalent to a lieutenant colonel.
I'm just wondering if people have if you got in early enough, like because there's guys that go in,
Yeah,
they start off as warrants. And
I
they
could
do
probably
the-
make the switch if I wanted to, but it's not.
I feel like
No, I'm not-
the Marine
yeah.
Corps might have actually kind of forced some of these guys to kind of like go that direction because of like boat spaces and just like not having room for
Right,
the
right,
next
right.
one, and there'd be more advancement opportunity at officer level. Also, a lot of these guys were already at like close to 20 years anyway, so I'm reasonably sure their captain's pay was still pretty close to a lieutenant colonel's at that point anyway.
I don't know, but the other thing was I know there was actually a chief warrant officer 3 that was holding up was a commander of a National Guard base that we have out here not too far away. That was a few years ago.
That hurts my soul.
I know it sucks, dude.
There's
he has to like he had to hold a command position for a while.
There's a big push to get warrant officers. Well, this is Army policy, and I'll give you my take on it. This is not the Army's stance. There's a big push to make warrant officers get into broadening assignments and do a lot of kind of the real life officer stuff. And in my opinion, that's not a warrant officer's job. Or a warrant officer's job is being an expert in their field. And
I
whenever
agree.
you get a broadening assignment, you're taking away from time that they could be furthering their experience in their job. That's
Yeah,
my opinion, but
It's
almost the
valid
same
as fuck.
rationale of
Yeah.
bringing back the specialist ranks in the enlisted side.
through the
Mhm.
You know,
I
spec
think
5,
they should.
6,
I
7.
honestly, I know I get a lot of fucking heat on this one because everyone's like, "Oh, you think that everyone should be no." The whole like, not
Well,
everyone's a leader.
Not
okay?
everybody's a leader,
Not
right?
everyone's
So,
a leader.
so much
no.
shit
not
on
everyone
that.
wants to lead.
right, and like that's why
Actually, a
You
lot
go-
of times I've noticed the guys that don't want to lead tend to be the better leaders.
right.
it happens. But bring back the specialist ranks. I love the fucking.
If someone's got the intuition and all that, they can lead. But if you got, some
you're
people
awesome at your
just don't
job-
want to do it.
I think the military should take more of a business standpoint on that. Like understand how business works. Like not everyone's meant to be a manager. You need to have.
I have a
people
lot
that
of
are-
friends who
Well,
are
they have
captains.
a leadership program within like the military and the Marine Corps, so they could pluck out the true leaders and the fucking guys who you want to frag.
True.
But, you know.
Well, they can't always do that.
Not always. This is always an asshole will slither through, but.
So I actually have a question about this. Now, do you think, and this kind of goes a little bit to you, Scott, for your specific job field that you held, though, too. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But do you think that it would be more viable to have more warrant officers filling out like platoon commander ranks in jobs like infantry or other fields as opposed to having some boot lieutenant that comes out of college? Like opening that up for more senior enlisted that have experience to lead a platoon.
What this gentleman just said is he has a specific. What was your specific occupation as a chief warrant officer?
I do Intel, yeah.
Intel. So if we have ones that are chief warrant officers in infantry or in tactical stuff like that, that would be a lot better than a boot lieutenant. I would take that any day.
But I mean,
I had an all enlisted platoon. We had our gunny as it, and it worked out a lot easier. He couldn't write or shit for awards for guys, but whatever. That's not the point. It was good to have someone who was more field.
He is enlisted.
And he
After all.
was right. He doesn't do the paperwork.
But like the only place that really works is like in the
ODA.
in a special operations
Yeah,
world where
spec
your
ops.
warrant actually serves as your XO. And even you know,
That makes more
higher
sense.
as you go, you know.
yeah, better off than just a platoon.
but
The only reason I
commander.
say that is just because just in my job field, we never had a lieutenant running our platoon. It was always a warrant officer because the warrant officer had to know the job, had to know maintenance, and there are no maintenance
how many fucking
lieutenants.
LTs are getting
Everybody's got
You know,
digging in grease and
Exactly.
turning wrenches.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. You know, you got a guy that's been turning a
Yeah.
wrench probably since he was old enough to hold one.
That's
You know,
But
what
that
I mean,
makes
it's-
sense in the
it makes
mechanics
sense.
world, though,
It's-
right?
right.
And
But I
motor
would think it would
maintenance.
make sense in other fields as well.
I'll disagree on this one. I'll go over to the dark side on this one, and I think that platoon leadership, especially in infantry side, is a very important career building opportunity for these lieutenants.
Right.
And that's where if you have a strong platoon leader or a platoon sergeant, he should step up and guide and mentor.
guide
and
and
I think
mentor the new
we've stepped
guy.
away
That's
from
the
that,
whole
yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
That's the whole goal of it.
Don't waste the guy's whole career to get put in line and get shot in the face. Like, don't,
That's it. If he's
Yeah.
not going to make
Yeah.
it, he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. I mean, the only
yeah,
the only-
it's an LT, right?
Yeah.
Dime a dozen.
the only reason I bring that up is I did
bars.
when I was attached to tank platoons, I was very, very fortunate that every tank platoon I got attached to from First Tanks, I had great officers, which actually I only had 2 officers by some sheer stroke of luck. I did a deployment where I ended up on the Mew. I had the first officer that I had on my 3rd tour. And
47th
and he-
Rushmore.
yeah, LSD 47. Anyway, but he was a great officer and is still in to this day. I believe he's a major lieutenant or a lieutenant colonel now. I'll have to check. And then I had a prior enlisted that became an officer that went through like OCS and stuff like that. So I had 2 really good officers. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of bringing that up, because I had great warrant officers that were in charge of my actual parent command platoon, and I don't know, I kind of just see that benefit, you know, from having people from the enlisted side be those leaders.
Right.
But it makes sense in your specific
In your
MOS.
specific MOS.
right?
Yours makes
Now that I'm thinking more in infantry, there's a lot of different
See, and this is why I want
mechanics
Scott
in
to
an
chime in
infantry
on that.
unit.
Oh yeah.
I'm,
go
I'm
with the
surprised
crunch gun.
PSYOP doesn't have a warrant officer. Which
Right,
is,
that-
Right.
it
Which
feels
is
like
so
it'd be
needed.
beneficial.
That one always bothered me. Like, you need a pro. And
I don't
a
think
SME, and
they're big enough. I don't think there's enough.
Well, which the new approaches. I mean, I'm hoping that actually sheds some light on how important information warfare is going in the future. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great for them to open up warrant slots, because I think you need those technical specialists.
You do.
Well, I kind of think that every MOS.
Cyber warfare is
Or-
nothing. I gotta send you a
Yeah.
good link from Jim Webb. He did about 4 years ago about
Sound like
cyber
Jim
warfare.
Webb.
and it being
I love
a
Jim
big
Webb, by the
fucking-
way. I
Yeah.
love how we're name dropping Jim Webb.
Great guy.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry to name drop, but it was a thing I want to send
sure.
him over. It's really fucking cool because he talks all about cybersecurity.
But what I was saying though is I feel like every MOS and or at least MOS field should have a warrant officer rank. Like, I feel like that is a necessary thing. There should be like that enlisted bridge between.
Well, we'll respect your position, but dutifully disagree.
Well, you don't think so? Well, like you just said, your MOS
Right, but
doesn't have-
those are job specific MOSs, whereas I think some other MOSs I don't think would stand to benefit with a warrant.
Speaking of, sorry to sidetrack here, but didn't the PSYOPs just come out with a like PSYOP expert badge or whatever? Weren't you guys trying to push that?
Not yet.
I'm just saying, like, you guys really want to be
right.
special here.
It wants to be something there.
Not
You,
yet.
All right,
you
so-
fucking Hooahs and your goddamn badges.
So
They're like Skittles.
on the Army side, the branches that have warrant officers. So you got the JAG Corps, the lawyers, the Air Defense, Aviation.
What is that, like an expert paralegal?
Yes.
Yeah,
and they're-
basically a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
Well,
they're not
no,
lawyers.
well, I mean,
no,
no,
they're
they're not
Just less
lawyers.
lawyer, but good paralegal. Yeah.
Because the lawyers are the officers.
I think there's like
True.
4 in the entire.
I mean, I don't know if that make.
Hey, look,
I guess it
I
makes
didn't
sense.
fucking
All
set
right,
it up.
whatever,
Listen,
yeah.
asshole. Air Defense, Aviation, obviously.
Yeah.
Chemical Corps, Cyber Corps. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I get that. Corps of Engineers definitely makes fucking sense there. Artillery, that one to me doesn't make too much
it
sense.
does because they
a little bit.
I think they're the sign off on.
Well, I
like,
guess
Yes.
it depends. Okay, on
Good at
certain
calculations.
things.
I don't know.
Okay, as in
Good at math.
Then get an azimuth.
another future episode on that. I had some good stories.
I was going to take a picture.
Fire the weapon.
MI, you're up there. All right, medical med. What is the little chatter in the closet over there, ladies? What's going on? What are you showing your dicks off over there? What
Yeah,
is going-
yeah.
Hey,
They gotta have something to show.
Anyway.
Send dick pics to.
the med corps. What? Yeah, I'm curious. Well, what
Night
the
Corps
don't
makes
know.
sense.
Med-
Night
It
Corps.
does. It doesn't. But I'm trying
What
to
are
figure
they?
that out though. 'cause,
No, like
you have-
nurse
you have-
practitioners and stuff
They're
like
nurse
that, where they're,
practitioners, right,
they're
officers.
kind of like between
I
doctor
guess, yeah,
and
like,
nurse.
right?
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that would make sense.
But
Yeah,
those
makes
are
sense, yeah.
officers.
No, doctors are officers.
Doc-
Nurse
Doctors.
practitioners are.
No,
Yeah.
your nurses
They're
are also
apparently warrant
officers.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not wrong.
No,
with it.
you also have
Sorry,
officers,
sorry.
nurses.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Re-
All right.
Really?
Tough.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never met. I never
This
had to
one
go to the
obviously
hospital.
makes sense
so.
to me, and I like this one a lot. MPs,
I've never seen it. So I think it's just CID. I don't know if it's.
CIDs. Yeah,
I don't think it's
all
regular
detectives and shit.
MPs.
Like it makes sense.
Well, they
though.
did a movie about it. John Travolta was one.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna definitely do that one. Except for there's some discrepancies.
Word. We'll talk about that.
Ordnance Corps. Okay, I don't.
I
I
can
could
see
see
that.
it.
I can see
Ammo
that.
specialists.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Quartermaster Corps. Come on, dude. You're really.
Supply.
Well, supply and
supply
logistics.
warrant officer.
I mean,
Class 6.
But they also
Quartermaster-
have a lieutenant, though.
So wait,
they have
look-
lieutenants that run supply.
Quartermaster
though,
makes
too.
I'm
sense.
not. It's an important job. I am not gonna knock it. It's an important.
No, but I feel like there's
corps.
doubling up
We
on that
need
because
it.
there's supply lieutenants, though. Like,
But-
why would you need both?
Because you need the expert to actually do all the logistics and the movement.
Which goes back to what I was saying, that every MOS needs a warrant
At the
officer.
fact, if you get like E6 or E7 at that, how are you not already an expert
For quartermaster or transportation.
I mean,
quartermaster?
So quartermaster, think about what level they're operating at though. They're generally going to be advising like brigade at the minimum.
Okay, I am.
So they're going to be the guy that the.
Fill me in. Give me a higher.
So remember,
Sauce me up.
any warrant officer you're talking to is just going to be an advisor to a commander in
Right.
whatever their expertise is. So a infantry officer, which is the core of what we do, needs a quartermaster warrant to tell him like, hey, we need XYZ. He's not going to go to private. Or,
No, I didn't say.
You know, whatever. He's not going to go to
fair
that.
enough.
person.
Yeah, we get it. I get what you're saying. You need that person in the middle to say up to high.
Yeah, because an officer's not supposed to talk
I'm just
to an
thinking
enlisted.
east. I'm thinking east side. I'm thinking east
Basically.
side. I'm thinking east side. Just like, what do we need? that?
Agreed. And it's the same with transportation corps, but the transportation corps warrants are some of the most interesting because think about all the equipment they have. They're like, you need somebody who's an expert, be like, yeah, you can't take that vehicle onto that road because it's
Okay,
too
that
heavy
makes
or whatever.
sense.
Like,
It
they
that
make
makes
sense.
to me. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, when they don't
That's
have
what I
that, that's when I usually got called to fix someone's fuck up.
Signal
That's it.
Corps, my corps, totally makes sense.
doesn't make
there.
any sense.
Fuck
No,
off.
not at all.
No,
Not at all.
why would
No.
you need anybody technically expert?
They
in
have
anything?
cyber and signal. Like, well, just
Yeah.
pick
Totally
one.
separate though.
Here, just go ahead and put up this R2D2 antenna.
Is everybody enjoying how they're listening to each other on the mic? Yeah, that's me. Fuck off. Guys. Is all this working? Because that's because of me. None of
Wait,
you
are you a
assholes wanna
warrant
make-
officer?
I should soon enough.
But you didn't. So you didn't need to be one to do this.
No, but I want to.
They only need to do it
You
for
want-
years.
But I want
I just
it.
want to sham.
But I want it.
I just want to sham. All
I
right.
wanna go golfing.
Special Forces, obviously, that makes
That-
sense.
Sure.
They should have every fucking thing they need.
Yep.
Veterinarian Corps?
think
What the
those-
fuck? I didn't know that existed.
I don't
Well,
think I
we
think
got
they
a
do,
lot of
like,
working
food.
dogs.
There's a vet corps?
I think that's
We
like
do
the
have a vet
food
corps.
one.
Yeah, because
I
there's
had
working
never knew
dogs.
that.
There's working dogs.
I got
Working
that.
dogs.
I didn't know,
Army still uses mules in
Yeah,
very
I
limited.
mean, there's
Navy has
branch of you.
Navy has
We got-
dolphins.
we got
They
bomb
still use dolphins.
I just know that we
to
had a
fucking-
vet corps, though. I
Ass lickers, you know.
20 years in and still don't know shit.
Well, you
How about
didn't. I didn't know about the Choo Choo Company, so
that? See, you learn.
That's
Thomas.
why we got a
So
lot
weird.
of peanut
Thomas.
butter.
That's what
I
we need
fucking
warrants for.
That's what this show's for. We're learning about the
And if you don't know what we're talking about
The
with
more
the
you
Choo Choo
know.
Company, check out episode 3, Lowered Expectations.
Thank you
There
for
you go.
dropping that up. That's awesome.
way to
Nice
plug
drop.
Pete.
All right, we've been on for quite a while here, and I had a couple more questions for the chief, but
Why don't we just go to extra after action for
we'll
that?
do that. Yeah, all
And then we make
I'll
that
come
some
back.
extra,
I'll come back
extra
sometime.
website
or
content.
just come back. Be great.
We can do that too.
Website.
Yeah, that'd
Once
be
again,
great.
you're making more
We're gonna
work
need
for
you
me,
to
Sam.
come in on
God
this
damn it, I already have a
Sunday.
full- The money. There's no money.
Not yet, because we don't have extra
There's never
content.
gonna
Wait, I'm not
be
getting
money.
paid for this?
Good.
Thank you,
Thank God it's
Castro.
the end of the
Mail.
episode that he found out that he is not getting paid.
All right, guys. Semperhua.com. Check out the merch, please, for the love of God. I got to pay off these microphones. Get on Facebook.
Michael Jackson used these same ones.
Did he? Yeah.
The exact same ones.
SMB7s.
Not
All right.
the-
Yeah, go on to Facebook. Follow,
Not
like,
the exact
Instagram.
same
We're on
one.
there. too,
Comment. Please
at-
comment.
Yes.
comment.
Meme the fuck out of our page, too.
Follow the shit out of it. If you're actually listening to this point, good for you. You put up with all this bullshit.
Way to go,
you-
champ.
yeah, way
If
to
you're,
go.
if you're still listening at this point, you are the real POG Pro.
Yeah, you are an actual
Oh,
real
can we
fan.
pull up POG Pro?
You're a real fan.
Let's pull it. I love that.
Yeah, I know. You like
There you go.
Because everyone here but you is a prog. That's cool.
A prog?
prog. A prog.
Is that
Whoa.
new?
Oh, somebody had
New
too many
t-shirt.
cocktails. Too many
Hey.
cocktails. Somebody
No
started
such
too
thing.
early.
New prog.
Somebody started too early. Like 2 hours before the show. I was like, I gotta loosen up. We're getting on tonight.
Yeah, some of us had to
I
drive.
got excited. I'm like, Chief's coming on. I'm like, I got so stoked.
Although, I have to say, first time using the Combat Cup, I am super stoked.
But yeah, once again, guys, get on the website. Look at our shit if you want to buy it, not whatever. Like, subscribe, follow. If you like the show, share it. Cool. We want to get out there. I would love to do this full time, and that way we could give you more entertainment. That'd be great.
Yes, bartending is getting hard on the body.
Yeah.
Even
We're
Joe
getting
Rogan doesn't do it full time though. Remember?
Yeah, Joe Rogan doesn't have to after that Spotify deal.
Old. Stop talking about Joe Rogan.
Yeah, like 100 million.
Hashtag.
The show's not over. Sit down. Listen, 50% of the proceeds from merch and donations, because you can donate to the show if you go to the bottom of our website.
We're still hooking up the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Yes.
So
So 50% of all that money will go to that, definitely to them.
hit us up. Let's help out Gary and his peeps.
The Marines are losing their shit after 2. I think we're hitting.
I'm sorry.
Attention span is not there.
Right.
No, they're.
We ran out
dying
of
over it.
crayons, God damn it!
Yeah.
All right, fuck.
Listen here, Devil Derp.
Jesus Christ! This is my legacy. This is what I built. A shitty
Yes.
podcast for a bunch of crappy vets and a couple
Degenerates.
cool fucking degenerates. And a few Joes that are all right.
All right.
Once again, if you want to come on the show, hit us up at contact@semperhua.com. I don't know what he's.
Let
You're
us
not even
know.
on a microphone, dude. Shut the fuck up. All right, guys. Thanks.
Next week.